People are sitting in the car waiting for this. You see here, little kids. You're from Lebanon? No. Okay. So you see long queues of car. The families are on the streets for many days. And this is the kind of impact the wars bring into for the people who have nothing to do with this war. We'll try to speak to someone. Can we talk? No. Okay. So generally people are not willing to talk here, but you'll see long queues of car. People have been displaced here, and the estimates from local NGOs suggest that every day thousands of cars are queuing up here to get the passes, to get the mandatory papers, the visa. They're getting clearances from local authorities, and it's absolutely chaotic near the border control or the border patrolling police. Here you see, this is where we are heading towards Syria, and people are lining up. They don't know, because just a few days ago this entire area faced aerial attacks from Israel, and then this entire road, this single connecting road between Lebanon and Syrian border, was damaged. People who had come from far-flung areas were stuck here because they couldn't move through that big crater. The cars couldn't move. Then women, children, families with their belongings. See here, people are moving with their belongings. They're permanently leaving the territory. Some of them, they are Syrians that moved back to Lebanon back in 2012 after the Arab Spring, and now the situation is same for them. Their fate hangs in balance because they're getting into Syria, which is already under civil war between the Assad's forces and the rebel forces. But the reports emerging from Syria suggest that they are also being welcomed into that particular region, because the border areas near Syria and Lebanon is a Sunni dominated area. So these people who are moving on there, they feel that they will be welcomed there. Can we talk now? You're going to Syria?
Syria, yeah.
Why?
Syria, Harab.
You are from Lebanon?
Yeah. Syria.
Okay, all your...
Syria.
Okay.
Harab.
And how many days? So you see these young men now bringing their belongings. Can you talk? No. Okay, so this is the situation here near the border of Syria and Lebanon. Okay, so you can see behind me, I'm now moving back towards the Lebanese border, towards the Lebanese territory, and I'll try to show you that the kind of impact this war has brought on these civilians who have nothing to do with it. They're managing the basic necessities they're getting, and this is the big crater, this is the big damage you can see on this street, which connects with the highway which connects the Lebanese and Syrian territory. Aerial attack by Israel led to this, that these people now have to move with all their belongings. You see these people coming from far and flung areas of other parts of Beirut, of Lebanon. They're trying to get into Syria, and they don't know what lies in future for them as they move to another country. Most of them are from Syria, who had left that country back a couple of years ago, and then women, children, men with all their belongings in the car are moving towards Syria. Right now the situation is very tense over here because there are long queues. People don't know about their fate. They don't know as to when the situation will normalize, when this war will stop, and if and when they can get back to their homes. Reporting from Syrian-Lebanese border, Mohammed Ghazali for NDTV.
It's well, an absolutely unprecedented situation at the border areas of Israel. We'll take a short break now, but more news on the other side.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead. From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of power, Delhi,
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show. Breakfast news on NDTV, 8 a.m. every day.
जिसकी सरकार सेंटर में हुई है उसी की सरकार प्रदेश में होती है।
एंटी इनकम्बेंसी को कैसे देख रहे हैं? इनकम्बेंसी नहीं है,
प्रो इनकम्बेंसी।
कांग्रेस आ रही है, भाजपा जा रही है।
Congress is going to form government in Haryana with a big majority.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you. NDTV World Summit 2024, October 21st and 22nd, only on NDTV Network.
From the heart of city in Beirut, a city which is scarred by violence and caught between the crossfire between Israel and Hezbollah. A war which started a year ago between Israel and Hamas has now spilled over to Lebanon. NDTV is on the ground to bring latest updates, in-depth analysis and how the evolving war has impacted this country. Stay tuned for latest updates.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all.
Welcome back. The National Film Awards took place yesterday and the top film honour was given to Mithun Chakrabarti. He got the Dada Saheb Phalke Award. Also some other legends at the National Film Awards as well, including Sharmila Tagore, who was awarded for her performance in the film Gulmohar. Take a look.
बस वी आर वेरी एक्साइटेड कि ब्रह्मास्त्र को इतने सारे ऑनर्स मिल रहे हैं, अवार्ड्स मिल रहे हैं. वी आर हियर टू रिसीव इट वेरी हम्बली एंड बहुत एक्साइटमेंट के साथ और बहुत सारा गर्व है हमारे दिलों में. इंडियन सिनेमा का बहुत बड़ा रोल है ऑन द ग्लोबल मैप ऑफ सिनेमा.
बहुत खुश हूँ. सब लोग इधर है और अच्छा लगता है हमेशा. नेशनल अवार्ड इज गेटिंग फ्रॉम द प्रेसिडेंट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट.
Just feeling very good today, very happy, humble, honored to be here, and let's hope we have a nice award ceremony.
I thought it was a wonderful experience, wonderful the way Dada Saheb Phalke, I mean Mithun Chakrabarti spoke so well. It just, I mean, you know, I just went and embraced him because he really inspired me. And it was straight from the heart and his lived experience. He really made the show, and of course Gulmohar got the best dialogues and best film. And we worked so hard for Gulmohar and we were very happy.
कि जिसकी सरकार सेंटर में हुई है उसी की सरकार प्रदेश में होती है.
एंटी इनकम्बेंसी को कैसे देख रहे हैं? इनकम्बेंसी नहीं है,
प्रो इनकम्बेंसी.
कांग्रेस आ रही है, भाजपा जा रही है.
Congress is going to form government in Haryana with a big majority.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you. NDTV World Summit 2024, October 21st and 22nd, only on NDTV Network.
From the heart of city in Beirut, a city which is scarred by violence and caught between the crossfire between Israel and Hezbollah. A war which started a year ago between Israel and Hamas has now spilled over to Lebanon. NDTV is on the ground to bring latest updates, in-depth analysis, and how the evolving war has impacted this country. Stay tuned for latest updates.
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai. India's IT capital is always buzz. It's literally a city that never sleeps. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
New day, new show, a new experience. Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life. New
Hello everyone, it's the day after the shocker result of Haryana and a comfortable victory for the Congress and the NC in Jammu and Kashmir. Vedant and I are saying good morning to you. So good morning viewers. But not before Vedant has the humble got this kind of attention. Did you have one in the morning?
Well, Madhav, you've still not got me one, but yes, so jalebi really was at the center of the bitter political war yesterday, and it's still, out, it's still rolling. So we'll get you all the latest on that, plus of course a national picture as well. But first, let's quickly look at the headlines at this hour.
Shocker for the Congress party, routed in Haryana. Did divisions in the top leadership cost the party? Congress says it can't accept the results.
In Jammu and Kashmir, the National Conference on song, but it takes the Congress along as well. This as the BJP wins in Jammu region, but no show in the valley. Meanwhile, end of political road for Mehbooba Mufti's PDP. The Aam Aadmi Party gets a surprise seat in Doda.
And when it comes to elections, NDTV is the election news destination. Top Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir newsmakers speak to NDTV. Omar Abdullah says that he has to build relations with the Lieutenant Governor, Naib Singh Saini, man of the moment in Haryana, says people have accepted Prime Minister Narendra Modi's policies.
NDTV on the Lebanon-Syria border, more than 1 million Lebanese people have been displaced. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu warns Lebanon that it faces destruction like Gaza. The key monetary policy announcement today. Will the RBI revise the inflation and growth projections? That is the big question.
And as we began this show, is the jalebis, which are now on Haryana's platter. BJP has sent jalebis to Rahul Gandhi. 1 kg of jalebi, those are the visuals on your television screen, has been sent to Rahul. Remember, during the course of his Haryana campaign, Rahul Gandhi had spoken about jalebis, and now it has taken that political color, which is unprecedented. I mean, everybody enjoys good jalebi. Absolutely. In the morning, particularly.
Absolutely, Maria. And I think the jalebis is how the Haryana results also panned out, starting, of course, with a comfortable lead for the Congress and suddenly a dramatic turn there. And very interesting there how the BJP has sent these jalebis to Rahul Gandhi. In fact, Pawan Khera yesterday said that the Prime Minister should have a jalebi.
But that he said before the trends actually started showing what was visibly a lot of concern for the Congress party in Haryana. We are going straight to Chandigarh, where Gurpreet Chinna is joining us live. Gurpreet, you have sent us those visuals of boxes of jalebi being sent by the BJP Karyakartas to Rahul Gandhi. Where are these jalebis being made? Is it some special place where, special halwai should I say, where these jalebis are have been chosen from?
Well, we have seen during the election campaign, in one of the campaigns, Rahul Gandhi had tasted these jalebis, and he was saying that these jalebis will be given to all the people of Haryana. We have seen even Dipinder Singh Hooda, the member parliament, and who is son of a former chief minister, he was also saying the same jalebis will be sent to Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi once there will be results. So we have seen now the BJP has trolled all these jalebis on the social media, and it has taken a political color in the state of Haryana. So we can see from this tweet, they are saying this from Gohana, the orders of jalebi had already been sent to Rahul Gandhi, because they just want to give a very, very strong message that eating jalebis with the election campaign and during the election campaign is not sufficient for the people, and people know that who is working for the state, and that's why if they are going to give these type of jalebis to the people of Haryana, they are not going to accept, and that is one of the core issues why they have given this jalebis issue a political color. And now today we have seen they had already tweeted saying the orders have already been placed, because one side we have seen the member parliament Dipinder Hooda, he was assuring Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi, and Rahul Gandhi specifically at that time he spoke a lot about jalebis, and that is one of the reasons why this issue has taken a political color in the state politics. Back to studio.
And Gurpreet, you know, the question really is, will people stop eating jalebi? I mean, will the Congress leaders stop eating jalebi, because now it has become the national food for the BJP leaders or the Karyakartas as well? And what about Mr. Naib Singh Saini? Did you speak to him today?
Well, we spoke to him, and he was saying these jalebis will be distributed among all the workers and all the people of Haryana who had voted BJP to power once again, and it's the hat-trick for the BJP, which had made a historic victory in the state of Haryana. So, of course, we have seen this issue is one of the major issue at this point of time, because one side we have seen the Congress was not able to reach up to the expectation, even they were very confident, they were overconfident this time they will be able to come back into the state, and I'm sure that this time they will not be able to taste any jalebi, and they will also try to see that how the BJP workers and BJP leaders are tweeting them and trolling them on the social media on these jalebis. So let's wait, because today we have seen, we are expecting the Chief Minister of Haryana, Naib Singh Saini, is going to meet party high command, whether Prime Minister and Home Minister, and after that getting a green signal for expansion of cabinet, the things will be unfolded in the coming days. Back to studio.
Okay, so you are saying that today Naib Singh Saini is coming to Delhi for his meetings with the party leadership, which includes, of course, the Prime Minister, BJP President and others. And Chinna also spoke to Naib Singh Saini himself, the man of the moment.
Yes, let's listen into that exclusive conversation.
You are holding this road show for thanks to all the voters. How do you see your victory?
मैं लाडवा के सभी लोगों का दिल से धन्यवाद करता हूं, जो स्नेह, जो प्यार, जो आशीर्वाद लाडवा के लोगों ने दिया है। आप देख रहे हैं मैं 4 बजे से रोड के ऊपर हूं, और लोगों का जो आशीर्वाद, प्यार, स्नेह मिल रहा है वो काबिल तारीफ है। मैं दिल से लाडवा के लोगों का धन्यवाद करता हूं कि इतने बड़े भारी जीत से उन्होंने कमल का फूल यहाँ से खिलाया है। मोदी जी की नीतियों के ऊपर आज हरियाणा के लोगों ने मुहर लगाई है। मोदी जी ने जो काम किए हैं, जो एक नया हरियाणा, नया भारत बनाने का काम आदरणीय मोदी जी कर रहे हैं, उसके ऊपर मुहर हरियाणा के लोगों ने तीसरी बार
आपको टाइम बहुत कम मिला,
जी की नीतियों के ऊपर मुहर लगाई है।
आपको टाइम बड़ा कम मिला, लेकिन आपने हमेशा कहा कि मैं बहुत काम करना चाहता हूँ, नॉन स्टॉप हरियाणा चलाया मैंने, तो कैसे देखते हैं उसको? आपको लगता है लोगों ने एक्सेप्ट किया?
बिल्कुल एक्सेप्ट किया है, जितना काम किया है उसके ऊपर मुहर लगी है। ऐतिहासिक जीत मोदी जी की नीतियों को दी है।
क्रेडिट किसको
ये आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी की नीतियों को और प्रधानमंत्री जी के कार्य को ये सारा का सारा क्रेडिट हम देते हैं, जो उन्होंने ज़बरदस्त तरीके से हरियाणा के लोगों की अपेक्षाओं के ऊपर खरा उतरते हुए, और हमारी सरकार ने उनके साथ कंधे से कंधा मिला करके जो भेदभाव क्षेत्रवाद का, परिवारवाद का जो बढ़ता जाता था, उसके ऊपर हमने विराम लगाया है। पूरे हरियाणा का समान रूप से विकास।
सैनी साहब ने ऐसा क्या मैजिक किया है कि जो कांग्रेस के पास अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट थी, उनके पास किसानों का मुद्दा था, वो क्या लगता है कि ऐसा मैजिक क्या चला?
वो झूठ बोलते थे, उनका झूठ बिका नहीं और ना आगे बिकेगा। उन्होंने 3 जगह अपना झूठ बेचा है, एक हिमाचल में बेचा, एक कर्नाटक में बेचा, तेलंगाना में बेचा। उसके बाद उनकी दुकानदारी खत्म हो गई है, उनका झूठ नहीं चल रहा। इन मोदी जी की नीतियों को, मोदी जी की गारंटी के ऊपर विश्वास देश और प्रदेश कर रहा है।
अब मुख्यमंत्री की शपथ कब ले रहे हैं सर? मुख्यमंत्री की शपथ कब ले रहे हैं?
जल्दी बताऊंगा।
So, this is the Chief Minister of Haryana, Nayaab Singh Saini. He has already made it very clear that the policies of the BJP has been accepted by the people, and that's why they are able to get big mandate. With Vijay, Rajesh Kumar, this is Gurp Singh China for NDTV, Ladwa, Haryana.
All right, so what a fascinating journey Nayaab Singh Saini has had. Maria, from the 11th hour Chief Minister picked to here he is, and unlike the Congress, all tall leaders rallied behind him, including a leader as tall as Manohar Lal Khattar, who said Haryana has only one leader, and that is Nayaab Singh Saini.
And yesterday, while addressing the BJP workers at the national headquarters also, the Prime Minister did take his name.
Absolutely.
He complimented him for putting up this fight in Haryana. There has been a generational shift in Haryana politics with the arrival of Nayaab Singh Saini, a former member of parliament from Kurukshetra and also a former BJP president.
एक बड़ा मोमेंटम पूरे हरियाणा प्रदेश के अंदर बना है, बहुत बड़े मैंडेट के साथ। आप ऐतिहासिक सीटें हरियाणा के अंदर आ रही है और तीसरी बार सरकार बना रही है।
The big news is that the Congress party is all set to form the government if these numbers come true on October 8th.
Despite exit polls favoring the Congress, Haryana Chief Minister Nayaab Singh Saini expressing confidence of a BJP hat-trick. Saini, who was appointed just 6 months ago, replacing Manohar Lal Khattar, was facing anti-incumbency of 9.5 years. From an unapproachable Khattar to an accessible and affable leader, Saini forced course correction for BJP in Haryana, scripting history for the Saffron Party with its biggest victory ever in the state.
आज हरियाणा के इस बेटे की प्रशंसा पूरे देश में होती है। इतने कम समय में बहुत कम लोगों को इतनी लोकप्रियता मिलती है, और इसका कारण भी है हमारे मुख्यमंत्री जी 24 घंटे हरियाणा के विकास के लिए समर्पित रहते हैं।
54-year-old Saini, the incumbent Chief Minister of Haryana, launched a number of schemes to help poor in his attempt to win back their votes. BJP's calculation was replacing Punjabi origin Chief Minister in Khattar with an OBC CM in Nayaab Singh Saini would help it win support among the OBCs, which form nearly 30% of Haryana's population. The Saini factor consolidated the non-Jat votes as well.
हमने हरियाणा में एक बीसी के बेटे को गरीब घर से, नायब सिंह जी खड़े हो जाइए, जोर से ताली बजाइए नायब सिंह जी के लिए। एक बीसी के बेटे को हरियाणा का मुख्यमंत्री बनाया है। अब इनके नेतृत्व में हरियाणा आगे बढ़ेगा।
By its Lok Sabha performance just 4 months ago, where it won 5 seats, the Congress was hoping for a landslide. However, Nayaab Singh Saini staged a comeback. Saini's political career began in the early 2000s when he became the district president of the BJP Yuva Morcha in Ambala in 2002. Though Saini lost the first election he contested in 2009, but would go on to become an MLA from Narayangarh in 2014. His proximity with Khattar ensured him ministerial berth, and then he rose through the rank in the party. When Khattar was told by the party leadership he must relinquish his seat, his pick was Nayaab Singh Saini. But very soon Saini would come into his own.
जितना जितना काम किया है उसके ऊपर मोहर लगी है। ऐतिहासिक जीत मोदी जी की नीतियों को दी है।
क्रेडिट किसको
ये आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी की नीतियों को और प्रधानमंत्री जी के कार्य को ये सारा का सारा क्रेडिट हम देते हैं, जो उन्होंने जबरदस्त तरीके से हरियाणा के लोगों की अपेक्षाओं के ऊपर खरा उतरते हुए और हमारी सरकार ने उनके साथ कंधे से कंधा मिला करके जो भेदभाव क्षेत्रवाद का, परिवारवाद का जो बढ़ता जाता था उसके ऊपर हमने विराम लगाया है।
हरियाणा चीफ मिनिस्टर नायब सिंह सैनी held statewide yatra announcement MSP for 24 crops and rupees 2100 for women under Laddo Ban Yojana has really consolidated votes for him. Not only this, we have seen he was also able to counter the Congress narrative of angry farmer by announcing a lot of schemes for the farmers. Not only this, he was also able to counter the narrative of Agniveer, which was mounted by the Congress by making a lot of announcement for state jobs for Agniveers. Undoubtedly, Saini has engineered the biggest electoral upset for the Congress. With Vijay, Rajesh Kumar, this is Group Singh China for NDTV, Ladwa, Haryana.
And what a rise and rise of a leader it has been, Vedant Naib Singh Saini. Nobody knew about him. We BJP reporters did know about him because he was the BJP state president. But as far as the larger political horizon of India is concerned, very few people knew about him. But yesterday, I think the Prime Minister has given a clear indication of how he is seeing the party going ahead in terms of, the second rung of leadership in multiple states being created. He addressed the BJP Karyakartas after what has been a historic win for the party in Haryana and also an emphatic victory it has registered in Jammu. Let's listen in to what the Prime Minister said.
पहले कांग्रेस सोचती थी कि वो चाहे काम करे या न करे, लोग तो उसको वोट देंगे ही। लेकिन अब कांग्रेस की पोल खुल चुकी है, उसका डिब्बा गोल हो चुका है। कांग्रेस सत्ता को अपना जन्मसिद्ध अधिकार मानती है। आज पूरा देश देख रहा है कि कैसे कांग्रेस हमारे समाज में जाति का जहर फैलाने पर उतर आई है। हरियाणा की जनता ने नया इतिहास रच दिया है। पहली बार ऐसा हुआ है जब 2 कार्यकाल, पूरे 5-5 साल के 2 कार्यकाल पूरा करने वाली किसी सरकार को हरियाणा में फिर से मौका मिला हो। ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी को तीसरी बार मौका मिला है।
Our top focus this morning is on Haryana and the close contest. See, it's become very, very essential and fascinating battles that have played out on a number of seats in Haryana. Vedant is right here to break down those seats where the vote gap between the winner and the loser is just around 50 to 60 seats, perhaps votes, Vedant, or perhaps less.
That's right, Maria. In fact, Haryana has been a fascinating story in more ways than one. Because if you look at the larger picture also, the difference between the vote share between the Congress and the BJP is less than 0.5%. So that tells you how tight this race was. There was a time when the BJP was ahead, the Congress in terms of seats, but trailing in terms of vote share. So that captures the story. In fact, let's look at some of these contests. Charnakalan, of course, the biggest story in this seat was Dushyant Chautala because he finished in the 5th place. But what is fascinating is that Devendra Atri of the BJP defeated the Congress candidate just by 32 votes. That's how close the contest was. In fact, if you look at the number of rounds, in the first few rounds, the Congress candidate was way ahead. Dushyant Chautala was always on the last position. So that really tells you how the landscape has changed entirely in Haryana from the Deputy Chief Minister to finishing in the last place in what has been a JJP stronghold. Absolutely fascinating there, and the BJP candidate winning by just 32 seats. If we can take a look at the next constituency that we are talking about as far as Haryana is concerned, of course, it's a vote share that's really interesting. Let's try and move that graphic now to the next constituency. Of course, as we discuss, it's Chana Kalan. Of course, some of the other seats, as we try and get those graphics up, looking at seats like Adampur, for example. Adampur has been, a stronghold of the Bishnoi family. But before that, Dabwali. Now, of course, another very crucial constituency, one of the 3 seats that the INLD has won, but just by over 600 votes. In fact, there was a time when the INLD candidate was trailing by almost 5,000 votes, and it was in the last few rounds, the last 3 rounds perhaps, that he took a significant lead, but then finally it evened out and he won just by 600 votes. In fact, absolutely fascinating there, because this also has been an INLD stronghold in the past decade or so, but a complete change in landscape, as I was saying, with the INLD winning just by 610 votes. Let's take a look at now the other constituency, Loharu. Loharu, of course, the Punjab-Haryana border, also very close to Delhi. So in that sense, this constituency becomes extremely important. In fact, Rajbir Fartia of the Congress party won just by 792 votes, defeating Jayaprakash Dalal. Now, Jayaprakash Dalal, I in fact went to this constituency as well, Loharu, an extremely interesting constituency, and Jayaprakash Dalal was considered a very strong candidate here, somebody who has worked ground up, but he was defeated by the Congress candidate by 792 votes. So again, a very interesting constituency here. But let's take a look at the next seat that we're looking at. Many such seats in Haryana. In fact, close to 17 to 18 seats in Haryana have seen these close contests. If you can try and flip the graphic a little faster. Adampur. In the first time in the past 50 years, the Bishnoi family has lost this stronghold. Of course, the Bishnois are no longer in the Congress. Bhavya Bishnoi, a young politician, he is Kuldeep Bishnoi's son, and he is contested on a BJP ticket. In fact, he won those crucial Adampur by-polls as well that I remember covering last year, and that was seen as some sort of a big boost to the Bishnoi family. But Bhavya Bishnoi lost, but just by over 1,200 votes. So, a big jolt to the Bishnoi family, and something that nobody expected that Bhavya Bishnoi could lose here. Kuldeep Bishnoi's son, of course, and a margin of over 1,200 votes. Rohtak, of course, is something, a constituency that is considered the bastion, the citadel of the Hudas. They enjoy a lot of influence and support here. And the Congress candidate who won simply by over 1,300 votes. So that tells you again, Maria, how the landscape has changed, and perhaps how the dominance of the Jats, the dominance of the Hudas has also come down in that sense, because a strongman of the Hudas winning just by 1,300 votes. So Maria, this in a sense gives you the larger picture of the close contest in Haryana.
Now we are shifting focus to another state. Of course, this is not a state at present, it's a union territory. The Congress National Conference Alliance has crossed the halfway mark and has secured 49 seats out of the 90 seats, winning the assembly elections, and is set to form the next government. 42 seats have been won by the National Conference, 6 was won by the Congress. Omar Abdullah is all set to be the next Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister. Here's Omar Abdullah in conversation with NDTV.
So when you actually decided to contest election, I spoke to you that time, and you said the first transaction of business of this government would be in the assembly to pass a resolution, show the rejection of people to what Centre has done on August 5, 2019.
I believe this mandate is a rejection of that. The fact that by an overwhelming margin, the BJP has been kept out of office. The BJP has won seats, but they are very far from the halfway mark. That in itself tells you that the majority of the people of Jammu and Kashmir do not agree with the politics of the BJP, and it is reflected in the way they have voted.
Your manifesto has made several promises, including restoration of statehood, fighting for the 370, giving so many things to the people. Is it on you now under the burden of expectations?
Well, certainly. The burden of expectations is something that we have sort of come to realize over the course of today. It's not just our manifesto. It's the way in which people have resoundingly come out and voted for the National Conference. Considering that we didn't fight all 90 seats, we fought far less than 90.
Exactly.
Therefore, the win ratio for the National Conference.
And I may add, your strike rate is 75%.
Well, there you go. I wasn't aware of that, but it's a statistic that I'll definitely be happy with. No, but coming back to your original point, yes, I think people have a right to expect things from us, and it is our responsibility to deliver on their expectations. Obviously, some of the things that we have promised we will start immediately. Some of the things that we have promised will require us to work with New Delhi to get our statehood back. But I believe, as I said earlier, that the Prime Minister is an honourable man. We don't say Honourable Prime Minister for nothing. I believe the Prime Minister is an honourable man. He has promised the people of Jammu and Kashmir statehood, and I hope that he will live up to that promise.
And BJP has been saying time and again, first delimitation, after the reorganization, they say first delimitation, then election, then restoration of statehood. How soon you are expecting that to happen?
They said as much even in the Supreme Court. Therefore, I would like to believe, look, nowhere has the BJP ever said that first BJP government, then statehood. Even in the speeches of the Prime Minister, nowhere did he say that only a BJP government will get statehood. He said Jammu and Kashmir will get statehood. Therefore, the people of Jammu and Kashmir have spoken. And I hope that the Honourable Prime Minister will be magnanimous in restoring statehood to Jammu and Kashmir at the very earliest.
Ram Madhav is joining us, BJP in charge of Jammu and Kashmir. Mr. Ram Madhav was brought in to this role, and then we saw this phenomenal performance of your party. Congratulations, Mr. Ram Madhav. How do you look at the party's performance?
Thank you. And let me at the outset clarify that this performance, which is a spectacular performance, no doubt, but that is not because of me joining a month ago. A lot of effort has gone into it in the last couple of years from our leaders in Delhi, like Shri Amit Bhai himself and others, but also our state team, state leadership, our party in charges. Everybody has done a lot of groundwork, and I just entered a month ago. We all have collectively worked towards this good victory. I would consider it as a very, very significant victory for BJP. I also worked in 2014 elections in this state. I'm sure you all remember that. The victory at that time was also a very big victory. We won 25 seats at that time. This time we won 29 seats, but the importance of this result is that we won almost all the seats, I would say, of the main Jammu region. If you exclude the Doda Kishtwad and what generally is described in this area as Pir Panchal region, the entire Jammu voted for BJP. And that's the reason why today BJP stands as the #1 party in terms of vote share. We have close to 26% vote share, as against NC's 24%. The reason being massive support we got from Jammu. Right. I think that's a very important message that those who are planning to form the government in the state must remember that they don't have any mandate from Jammu, and Jammu's mandate is with BJP. So we all have to work together for the good progress and development of the state.
Ram Madhav ji, as a very close follower, what is a logical time period? I know it's not up to you to decide, but do you believe that are we looking at months, maybe a year? What is your sense of it?
So my feeling is that certainly the Union Territory will get statehood. That is one commitment even Prime Minister gave at the time of the campaigning also. Last week itself he said it. No, we will certainly give the statehood to Jammu and Kashmir UT. It will happen. But you remember one thing, Jammu Kashmir has traveled a lot of distance in the last 5 to 10 years. It gave up that complete terrorist identity today. It's a very peaceful state. We have traveled a distance in terms of separatism also. As I mentioned to you, today even Jamaat has joined the political process, democratic process. It's a big achievement for our country, our democracy. So those in power in this state should be reassuring to the people in Delhi that they won't bring those tendencies back into this region. Then full statehood is possible. Now, here are people who have been demanding release of all the terrorists in jail, demanding restoration of Article 370. With that kind of attitude, if they go to the assembly in the state and then demand that give me statehood because I have to release political prisoners, separatists and terrorist leaders and all, that becomes problematic for larger national security issues. Otherwise, yes, we are in favor of this UT getting statehood sooner than later.
Okay, so the big question that will emerge now from Jammu and Kashmir is how soon will the statehood be restored? Remember, that had become one of the talking points during elections. But a small micro detail which I would share with all the viewers and also Vedant here in the studio, the BJP actually won 10 of 11 seats in Jammu division alone. So they have had complete dominance in the politics of Jammu. They are continuing with it. Vedant, let's discuss the picture again in terms of how the close contests played out.
Absolutely, Maria. As you said, BJP very strongly retained Jammu, but Congress barely managed to scrape through, even in the strongholds and also the regional parties. If you look at the PDP, we've been discussing how it's end of political road for Mehbooba Mufti's PDP. Even in the 3 seats it won, the margin of votes was really slender. If you look at Tral, for example, the PDP candidate won merely by 460 votes. Again, one of the 3 seats that the PDP won, and just a little over 400 votes for the PDP candidate, who of course defeated the Congress candidate here. But let's take a look at some other constituencies when it comes to the close contest. In Kishtwar, well, the BJP's only woman candidate, I must mention here, won by 521 votes. But her victory is remarkable because she defeated, a veteran, Sajjad Ahmed Kichlu, by 521 votes. She is, of course, the daughter of a terror victim. She has an extremely fascinating backstory, and also the BJP's woman candidate. So she won, but just by 521 votes there. In Patan, of course, Javed Riaz won by 603 votes, defeating the JKPC candidate Imran Raza Ansari, and it was a high-stakes campaign. If you remember Patan, areas once struck by militancy, we saw great election fervor there, but very tight contest with just 603 votes margin. Looking at some other constituencies, well, in Indrawal, the candidate Pyarelal Sharma defeated Ghulam Mohammad Dasaruri by 643 votes. Of course, Indrawal also a very fascinating constituency, in the Kashmir region, in the valley. So of course, militancy was really in the heart of the campaign here as well, the poll discourse, and a close contest here as well. And the last constituency that we're looking at in terms of close constituencies, well, Handwara, where Sajjad Lone, of course, barely managed to scrape through by 662 votes. So also, in a sense, the end of political dynasties, as many have pointed out, though of course the Abdullahs led the charge. But for Sajjad Lone as well, he broke down yesterday. He was extremely emotional, remembering his father, but he managed to win merely by 600 votes as well. So Maria, very close contest there in Jammu and Kashmir as well.
So let's try and analyze how is Jammu looking. In fact, Srinagar looking this morning. I can see Nazir Masoodi joining us from Srinagar. We have Gurpreet Chinna joining us from Chandigarh, and Tanushka from the BJP headquarters. Nazir, coming to you this morning, do you think the NC will really expedite the process of government formation? They'll stake claim today itself with the list, or with the list of all its MLAs, or will they be waiting a little more? Perhaps negotiations will happen with the Congress?
Well, I don't think there's need any negotiation with the Congress, because the Congress has won very few seats. They don't have any bargaining power left, because 6 seats they have won is actually they have won it on the shoulders of National Conference. Those were the seats where National Conference was already very strong. And in Jammu, where they had won, contested most of the seats, they lost very badly. They could win in a single seat in the Hindu-dominated area. It is in fact National Conference, which has won a few seats in the Hindu-dominated constituencies. For example, in Nowshera, where National Conference candidate Surendra Chaudhary defeated BJP State President Ravinder Raina, and equally in the Ramban, where National Conference candidate has won, and also Vedant was talking about Tarilal of Kishta, Indarwal in Kishtwar. It is a 90%, more than 90% Muslim-dominated seat. But a Hindu candidate, he's actually a National Conference member. Because of the seat-sharing arrangement with the Congress, the seat went to the Congress. Tarilal decided to fight independent. So he has won. So we know he is a National Conference member. Still, he was never thrown out of the party after contesting independent. And there are four such people who didn't get the tickets, and they National Conference members who didn't get the tickets. They fought independent. They have won, and they're likely to join back National Conference formally. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. And so National Conference is actually looking to have its own absolute majority. They have already 42. They need 4 more, which they already have. 5 they have, almost 5 they have. So that means 46, 47 they may be managing. And then there would be 6 more of the Congress. So it would be then, there's also the CPIM, this MLA, Muhammad Yusuf Tarigami, who was also backed by the National Conference as part of the alliance. So they have more than 50, MLAs, I can say. And then maybe it will take a day or two when they will stake the claim for formation of government. As Umar Abdullah told us yesterday, that's first there will be a legislative party meeting of the National Conference. Then there will be the alliance party, legislators meeting with the Congress mainly. So then they'll go and decide who will be the chief ministerial candidate. That is just a technicality, as Farooq Abdullah has already announced that Umar Abdullah will be the chief minister. But Umar himself is just not saying it so, and saying that the party decide that is a technicality, and then maybe in few days they will stake the claim for the formation of the government.
That's actually very interesting. The father, when he was asked that question, who will be the chief minister, he was emphatic, saying Omar Abdullah will be the chief minister. I mean, that was like quintessential Farooq Abdullah, Nazir. We have known him for several decades.
Yeah, exactly. And it is obvious that someone who has fought on 2 seats and won both, it was a double victory for Umar Abdullah, and now naturally Farooq Abdullah has not contested this election. So Umar is the obvious choice as the chief minister. And there's no, as I said, the bargaining power with the Congress. They can bargain even on the ministerial seats. And the challenge for the Umar Abdullah would be how to strike a balance with the Jammu, because they have just one few members. So maybe he may give, cabinet birth in his council of ministers, somebody from independent, and he has 2 MLAs from the, as I said, who have one from Jammu. They both are Hindu. So they need to have a sense of belonging. That's what he was saying, telling us yesterday during that interview. So that remains a challenge, because everybody need to have a sense of belonging in the government. When it is a democratic government, it is not just one man's government or one region's government. It should belong to every region, every person of the state, regardless they have voted for the ruling party or not. So that remains Umar Abdullah. So there would be the hectic parleys today through the day, particularly National Conference has already approached all those independents. There are 7, at least 6 are believed to be joining National Conference, maybe today, as I said, or tomorrow.
So perhaps then the government would be in the range of 55. That is something that they are hoping for, perhaps more. Let me bring in Tanushka now. Vedanta. Tanushka is joining us from the BJP headquarters. That's where some meetings could happen today, as the BJP in charge and co-in charge for Haryana are likely to meet, decide who will be the observers who will be sent to Chandigarh for overseeing the entire legislature party meeting. Tanushka, what can you tell us?
Well, this was exactly where the place of entire celebrations went on last evening, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed to his party workers and the people of Haryana as well, and he said that this historic win in Haryana for the 3rd time. This is the people of Haryana who have given this to the BJP for the 3rd time, and he completely, showed gratitude towards the people of BJP as well as his party workers right here on the stage behind me, speaking at the podium. And what we also know is that in his speech, the Prime Minister also lashed out sharp attacks at the Congress, calling it a parasitic party and stating that it only has the powers to win an election when it is in an alliance, so powered by another party. And what we also, of course, understand from the BJP's win in Haryana is that the major factors that worked in BJP's favor were, as of course is discussed earlier as well, is the appointment of Nayaab Singh Saini as the chief ministerial face, who's the sitting chief minister and will also take on another term with the win in these elections. And he was the OBC leader, so his face came across as approachable to the masses and also helped with the anti-incumbency issues for 9.5 years in the party. And his, appointment came in just 6 months shy of the Lok Sabha election, so it was a very deliberate and, well-thought decision by the party as well. And of course, the consolidation of the Jat votes too. So at this point, of course, even yesterday, this was the epicenter of celebrations, the BJP headquarters, and even today, Chief Minister Nayaab Singh Saini is also, allegedly looking forward to be here in talks to further go ahead with the party decisions and to form this elections party in Haryana. Back to you.
Okay. Tanushka, thank you so much. You'll be speaking to Gurpreet.
Absolutely. Gurpreet is joining us. Gurpreet, you spoke to, the chief minister there, the possible chief minister, and in all likelihood, he will continue as a chief minister. And what you said was that he's expected to come to Delhi and meet the party brass as well. The top leadership is all praise for him. The Prime Minister himself, in fact, spoke about him, referring to him as Haryana ka beta.
Well, of course, we have seen the BJP party was able to get a people mandate and they have got a majority. Now they are in a comfortable zone. Now they are trying to make another political strategy. Who will get what in the cabinet? They are planning to expand the cabinet. They are planning to go for the swearing in. So all these discussions will be held in national capital with the party high command to discuss each and every step, how he is going to take a calculative steps in the coming days. What we have learned from the sources within the CMO, they say anytime the Chief Minister of Haryana, Nayaab Singh Saini, will fly along with the party president and they will discuss each and everything, and by evening they will call all the MLAs at the Chief Minister residence where they will hold a marathon discussion to chalk out the way how they are going to give back this mandate which the people have given, how they will be able to make a developmental agenda for Haryana state. So we have to wait and watch to find out how the BJP is going to make another political strategy to come up to the expectations of the people of Haryana. As of now, we have seen there is a huge margin between the Congress and BJP, the seats which they have just got. So they are already in the comfortable zone. And last night we have seen, when we spoke to the Chief Minister, we have seen he was quite confident, and we have seen even the party high command, they had already given a green signal on the name of Nayaab Singh Saini. Nayaab Singh Saini had taken over when ML Khattar, the former Chief Minister of Haryana, had been removed 6 months before the election, and we have seen they say that they are going to contest this election on the face of the Nayaab Singh Saini, and there is a possibility the same thing will be repeated by the party high command, and Nayaab Singh Saini will be the Chief Minister of Haryana and he will take over the reins of this state, and after that he will start working as the Chief Minister full-fledged. He has been saying a lot of things. He was saying that he has done non-stop work for Haryana, and some of the policies he was not able to implement because there was a short of time, but now he will decide all the things for the pro-people policies, and finally he will apply and implement for the growth of Haryana. Back to studio.
Thank you so much, Gurpreet, for joining us. I can see Sunil Prabhu up and about early morning. Good morning, Sunil. Is there a lot of introspection, a day of introspection for the Congress? Will they continue to push this narrative that there is something gone wrong with the EVMs, or have they accepted the defeat, conceded?
Well, I mean, the election results are declared, so the Election Commission has done what it has required to do as per the law. They are, of course, looking at every aspect and analyzing every seat, because please remember, This election was too close to call. It was 39%, 0.3%, 11% swing in favor of the Congress party against the BJP's 39.7. So it's really that small marginal difference. And I think somewhere down the line, Rahul Gandhi is saying, I told you so. If you had had an alliance with the Aam Aadmi Party, things would have been definitely different, because the Aam Aadmi Party with a 1.78, even if you had given them 4 or 5 seats or whatever in the interest of the India alliance, as you did in the Lok Sabha elections, the story would have been completely different. But that being said, Mr. Huda will have to take this blame. He was the front man, the strong man, who was responsible. And as you see, the margins of, in terms of defeat, within less than 10,000, 5,000, 6,000, the seats are huge, nearly 20. And they have 3 particular districts which they are extremely concerned about: Hisar, Mahendragarh, and the other place. So it's in that context that the Congress will definitely be looking at it and analyzing and talking about those various aspects. But definitely, caste polarization, the winner wins, and for the loser, it's extremely difficult to accept for a man like Mr. Huda, who put his heart and soul at 77 for this campaign. He believed he was making it. Everybody, including pollsters, TV channels, everybody, Maria, agreed that the Congress was going to win in Haryana, including BJP leaders. This has come as a total shocker for the Congress party.
Sunil, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your perspective this morning. Let's bring in the guests now. Neerja Chaudhary, senior journalist, is joining us. We also have Dr. Pooja Tripathi of the Congress party. Neerja, it's day after the results. What are your thoughts? What do you think went right for the BJP in Haryana?
Morning, Maria, and you're all back early. And Indian elections get you to do all sorts of things, And one of them is to be on a channel like yours in the morning. And as you say...
Thank you so much, Neerja. Ma'am, it's fascinating because we are political animals, as they say. It just gives us that extra, shot of
energy.
Excitement.
Yes, absolutely. I tell people one of the things I love best is to hit the road at election time, because you discover so many things that are new about India.
Yes.
But yes, looking at it, the first thing that comes to my mind is the challenge, that huge challenge that both dispensations are going to face, in delivering and rising up to the aspirations. Omar Abdullah has his task cut out for him. And yesterday on your channel, he struck conciliatory notes very unexpectedly early on, before he has even been sworn in as chief minister. And he's recognizing what the mandate is for. It is for development and it is for statehood. And he said they will not pursue 370 restoration for the moment. His father, Dr. Farooq Abdullah, had told me about a week ago, that is a route we will take legally. We will go back again and again and again to the Supreme Court to challenge that 370, but they will not take that route politically. And yesterday, Omar Abdullah articulated that. And the need to have a new relationship with Delhi, with the need to have a new relationship with the Raj Bhavan, with the governor. And he said that's been a difficult relationship. And Mr. Ram Madhav, who was sent to J&K a month earlier, restored to his earlier position, also responded in kind, but said that we must know that Srinagar, now the government is not going to insist on things like release of separatists and political prisoners. That's going to be a tricky issue. So I think it will require statesmanship of the highest order in the coming weeks. And, there are moments in history when an opportunity presents itself. In Kashmir also, we've seen over the decades, when you either seize it or you let go of it, or you make a mess of it. So this is a moment in Kashmir, and the man of the moment is Omar Abdullah. So as also Mr. Naib Singh Saini in Haryana, this is a new star on the horizon, a young OBC face coming to the fore in heartland India. And OBCs are going to fashion OBCs and Dalits are increasingly going to fashion our politics all over the country because they now demand their place under the sun, their voice in the political structure. So how parties are going to meet those aspirations remains to be seen. So those were my early thoughts as you were speaking.
That's very well put, Neerja ji. But Pooja Tripathi, very quickly, do you think it's now time for the Congress to understand that you need to cede space to the allies? I mean, of course, whether it's Haryana or Jammu and Kashmir, that's been the story with the Congress. You had Arvind Kejriwal also hit out at the Congress yesterday. Interestingly, now TMC MP Saket Gokhale has written a pretty strongly worded tweet. He says, arrogance, entitlement and looking down on regional parties is a recipe for disaster. How do you respond to all your allies gunning for you now?
I don't think, Vedang, we are looking down at regional parties. We are a part of a very formidable India alliance and we respect our alliance partners. It's nothing to do with arrogance. But let me ask you a question to both of you anchors. Is the response of Congress party, is the anger, is the, the whole the way we spoke, is it misplaced? We have seen pollsters, we have seen media channels, forget the exit polls, forget our internal surveys, everybody, even Bharatiya Janata Party leaders were not predicting this kind of thing. Everybody thought it would be a rout and will sweep the elections. So when we talk about, and there have been reports from Mahendragarh, as Sunil Prabhuji was saying, from Sirsa, from Panipat, from Narnaul, there have been reports. The candidates have talked about the delayed in updating of results, the charge of the EVM machines. There have been reports of, we are not questioning the whole election process. We are questioning.
All right, but the Election Commission very clearly has said that these are unsubstantiated reports. So I mean, to sort of cast aspersions on the electoral process is something. Let's gracefully accept the mandate. Thanks very much, Pooja Tripathi and Neerja ji, for joining us early this morning.
On that note, Vedant and I are slipping into a short break. We'll be back with all the news and updates.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
Download any single ID partner app, link your card and earn reward with top brand.
Get it free with single ID.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you. NDTV World Summit 2024, October 21st and 22nd, only on NDTV Network.
From the heart of city in Beirut, a city which is scarred by violence and caught between the crossfire between Israel and Hezbollah. A war which started a year ago between Israel and Hamas has now spilled over to Lebanon. NDTV is on the ground to bring latest updates, in-depth analysis and how the evolving war has impacted this country. Stay tuned for latest updates.
Welcome back. The National Cricket League matches being played in US, Atlanta and Chicago won the matches 6th and 7th. In fact, Angelo Matthews scored a half-century in losing cause, while Robin Uthappa led his team from the front. Take a look.
Down the ground. Oh, full toss.
Oh, he's gone
A high-scoring encounter unfolded between Los Angeles Waves and Atlanta Kings in the National Cricket League 60 strikes. Atlanta skipper Angelo Matthews stepped up and put a heroic show, scoring 85 runs off just 33 balls, as Atlanta put 145 runs on the board in 10 overs.
Jimmy has decided to loft this, and yes, he is going to get...
Chasing the target, LA remained ahead of the asking rate almost throughout the chase. Wicketkeeper batter George Munsey scored 33 runs off 11 balls.
It's George Munsey again.
LA batters Adam Rosington and Tim David then struck an unbeaten partnership of 95 runs. Rosington scored 52 off just 18 balls, but Australia's Tim David slammed 58 runs from 19. LA Waves won by 9 wickets. In match number 7, Robin Uthappa and Chris Lynn gave Chicago a great opening stand that dented the Wahab Riaz-led Gladiators hard.
Downtown. 6 more of this over so far.
Uthappa scored 66 of 27 balls and 100 came up for Chicago in 6 overs. Despite Uthappa's wicket, the carnage did not stop as Lynn scored 60 of 23 balls. Chicago posted a total of 173 for 2 in 10 overs.
Gives it a whack.
In reply, Texas Gladiators were given a decent start by David Malan and Kenner Lewis. Michael Leask unleashed fury as he took 4 wickets for just 27 runs. Uthappa led Chicago Cricket Club, defeated Texas Gladiators by a huge 41-run margin in the NCL 60 strikes.
And a very, very convincing win here by Chicago of 41 runs.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
And finally, BJP's historic win. The BJP government will be formed for the 3rd time in Haryana. Sources say Chief Minister Saini will remain in charge.
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always buzz. It's literally a city that never sleeps.
And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
I'm loving it. An experience to remember for a lifetime.
जानू ना मुझको कैसे है पा लिया इस शहर ने लापता था मैं पहले अपना लिया इस शहर ने शोर भी लगे एक दिन की तरह हर दिन लगे एक नई सी सुबह भीड़ सी है इस डगर में लाखों सपने हैं नजर में लाखों से तेज है पर मौज सी है इस सफर पे
क्योंकि अभी एक IFP करके एक फेस्टिवल और होता है, आप भी आपका भी तो IFP में सेशन था।
कोई था जिसका IFP में सेशन नहीं था।
being here, man. IFP is like home.
Feels so good to be here. Feels good to be back, you know, feels like home.
It was a wonderful session, and my first time at IFP has been a blast.
I loved it. I loved it. The energy in the room was absolutely brilliant.
I'm so glad to be here. It's an electric atmosphere. So many people who love films here.
It's so exciting because the audiences have been extremely warm, and we have all of these amazing people over here.
NDTV World Summit 2024, October 21st and 22nd, only on NDTV Network.
Good morning and welcome. You're watching NDTV. Our senior colleague Mara Shakil is with us this morning as we decode all the aspects of what has been a fascinating verdict day from Haryana to Jammu and Kashmir. Mara, a lot to unpack.
Absolutely, an unprecedented victory for the BJP in Haryana, a consolidation of the party in Jammu, the headlines this hour. BJP High Command to hold a key meet today. Naib Singh Saini leaves for Delhi from Chandigarh. Haryana BJP Chief Mohan Badoli accompanies Saini.
Meanwhile, a day of introspection for the Congress party after its rout in Haryana. The divisions in the top leadership cost the party, while Congress says it cannot accept the results. Complaints to the Election Commission. In Jammu and Kashmir, it's a national conference show all the way. The BJP wins in Jammu. Jammu intact for the BJP, but no show in the valley. Meanwhile, the PDP routed. The Aam Aadmi Party gets a surprise seat in Doda. Top Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir newsmakers exclusively on NDTV. Omar Abdullah says we need to build a cordial relationship with the Lieutenant Governor and the centre. Meanwhile, Naib Singh Saini says people have accepted PM Modi's policies. NDTV on the Lebanon-Syria border. More than 1 million Lebanese people have been displaced. Netanyahu, meanwhile, warns that Lebanon faces a destruction like Gaza. Key monetary policy announcement today. Will the RBI revise inflation and growth projections? That's the big question.
At 9 a.m. this morning, the big news that is coming in now is from Haryana. BJP's historic hat-trick in Haryana. The BJP High Command will be holding key meeting today. Naib Singh Saini has left for Delhi from Haryana, and the BJP central leadership will be meeting the caretaker Chief Minister Naib Singh Saini, man of the moment, and all eyes will be on what next from Mr. Naib Singh Saini. You remember BJP President Mr. Nadda, senior leaders like Home Minister Amit Shah and all had given a call to Naib Singh Saini, congratulating him for putting up that fight. Let me go straight to Gurpreet Chinna, who's joining us live. We'll also be joined by Aishwarya, who's tracking this story here in the national capital. Gurpreet, so, you know, it's almost clear that Naib Singh Saini will be the next Chief Minister. This is more like a meet and greet that will happen in Delhi.
Well, that is one of the reasons why Naib Singh Saini has been called by the party high command to discuss about all the political development which is going to happen after winning and making this historic victory in the state of Haryana. We have seen the Chief Minister of Haryana, Nab Singh Saini, has already left for the national capital, and he will be holding a marathon meeting with the party high command to discuss and chalk out the next strategy, how they are going to come up to the expectation of the people of Haryana, and specifically as of now, what we can understand, the swearing in date they are going to finalize, and after that, who will be the minister in the cabinet of Nab Singh Saini. That is the core issue which they are going to discuss at the length, so that they will be able to make all the caste combination, they will be able to make all the balance within Haryana, and that will give another boost to the BJP in the state of Haryana. So let's see that what type of discussion will be carried out and when they will plan to take oath as a chief minister by Nab Singh Saini, because we have seen so many times, multiple times, such type of statement had been given by the party high command and especially high command leaders saying they are contesting this election on the face of Nab Singh Saini, and he has already been declared before the polls that he will be the chief minister. So somewhere down the lane, the way we have seen the performance has been done during the elections also, and they have already got full majority at this point of time. So it seems Nab Singh Saini will be the chief minister of Haryana, and he is going to discuss all the points with the party high command before making his own cabinet and discussing when he is going to take oath as a chief minister in Haryana. Back to studio.
We also have Aishwarya joining us from outside the home of Manohar Lal Khattar. Coming to you, Aishwarya, you know, Nab Singh Saini has been the chosen man of Manohar Lal Khattar. So when Manohar Lal Khattar was asked by the central leadership that there will be a change of guard in Haryana, he chose Nab Singh Saini. Nab Singh Saini has worked with Mr. Khattar. Now when the next government formation will happen, what do you think will be the role of Mr. Khattar?
Well, remember, in the Karnal constituency as well, the candidate that had been picked up was a very close aide of Manohar Lal Khattar, and it was Nab Singh Saini who was sent to Ladwa constituency, which is probably a Congress-dominated seat. But it has been told to us that yesterday, in a brief meeting that held at Manohar Lal Khattar residence, where the in charges of the Bharatiya Janata Party for the state of Haryana, including Dharmendra Pradhan and Mr. Biplab Dev and co-in-charges appeared, they clearly had made an idea that how to now formulate. It was very clear by Home Minister earlier that Nab Singh Saini will be their chief minister, and that had been announced in a public rally as well. Taking care of the government formation and the and the role of Manohar Lal Khattar as far as his camp is concerned to accommodate those MLAs. It would be very interesting that how Manohar Lal Khattar will be interfering in it. But yesterday, while speaking to the media as well after the victory, he made it clear that now he is there for to the whole country, because now he's a union minister. But yes, being a chief minister for 9.5 years is something that his work had led Haryana to progress, and he wanted the next chief minister to complete the pending works as well. And Nab Singh Saini, being a very close aide to Mr. Khattar as well, he thinks that his influence, his interference, whatever he wants in Haryana will be done by his side. So yes, of course, on one side, the accommodation of both Khattar's camp and Saini's camp will be there, and top leadership will be sending, of course, the observers in Haryana next as far as the legislative party meeting is concerned, and then we've been told that it will be one voice that Nab Singh Saini will be elected their leader, and later the government formation process will start.
Thank you so much for joining us. But a word from Gurpreet as well now.
Absolutely. Gurpreet, how do you see this cabinet formation also taking place? Of course, that's a relatively later question, but the focus, of course, a great deal was on the non-Jat community, and Nab Singh Saini really steered that aspect for the BJP. So do you see that caste arithmetic also being extremely crucial to cabinet formation?
Well, definitely that point will be taken care by Nab Singh Saini, and interestingly in this election we have seen only two former cabinet ministers, they will be able to win the election. But now we have seen a lot of tickets have already been replaced by the party high command during taking a feedback from all the workers and karyakarta from the various constituencies, and this time it seems this will be sole cabinet of Nab Singh Saini. Only a few ministers, whether it's the former Home Minister Anil, which he was able to win the election, and only two more people were able to win the election. So somewhere down the lane, it seems the new faces will come up and they will try to make all the calculation as they had already made earlier before the poll, because that formula of the BJP party high command has been successful. So it seems that is one of the core issues why Nab Singh Saini is going to discuss each and every point with the party high command before taking any final call on his cabinet expansion and when he is going to take an oath as a Chief Minister of Haryana. Back to studio.
Thank you so much. So who really is Nab Singh Saini? Here we have put out a report which actually sums up his long political career, but very little was known about him. He has had a long journey. Let's listen in and figure out what exactly has been the journey of Nab Singh Saini.
एक बड़ा मोमेंटम पूरे हरियाणा प्रदेश के अंदर बना है, बहुत बड़े मैंडेट के साथ। आप ऐतिहासिक सीटें हरियाणा के अंदर आ रही है और तीसरी बार सरकार बना रही है।
The big news is that the Congress party is all set to form the government if these numbers come through on October 8th.
Despite exit polls favoring the Congress, Haryana Chief Minister Nab Singh Saini expressing confidence of a BJP hat-trick. Saini, who was appointed just 6 months ago, replacing Manohar Lal Khattar, was facing anti-incumbency of 9.5 years. From an unapproachable Khattar to an accessible and affable leader, Saini forced course correction for BJP in Haryana, scripting history for the Saffron Party with its biggest victory ever in the state.
आज हरियाणा के इस बेटे की प्रशंसा पूरे देश में होती है। इतने कम समय में बहुत कम लोगों को इतनी लोकप्रियता मिलती है और इसका कारण भी है हमारे मुख्यमंत्री जी 24 घंटे हरियाणा के विकास के लिए समर्पित रहते हैं।
54-year-old Saini, the incumbent Chief Minister of Haryana, launched a number of schemes to help poor in his attempt to win back their votes. BJP's calculation was replacing Punjabi origin Chief Minister in Khattar with an OBC CM in Nab Singh Saini would help it win support among the OBCs, which form nearly 30% of Haryana's population. The Saini factor consolidated the non-Jat votes as well.
हमने हरियाणा में एक बीसी के बेटे को गरीब घर से नायब सिंह जी खड़े हो जाइए, जोर से ताली बजाइए नायब सिंह जी के लिए। एक बीसी के बेटे को हरियाणा का मुख्यमंत्री बनाया है। अब इनके नेतृत्व में हरियाणा आगे बढ़ेगा।
Buoyed by its Lok Sabha performance just 4 months ago, where it won 5 seats, the Congress was hoping for a landslide. However, Nab Singh Saini staged a comeback. Saini's political career began in the early 2000s when he became the district president of the BJP Yuva Morcha in Ambala in 2002. Though Saini lost the first election he contested in 2009, but would go on to become an MLA from Narayangarh in 2014. His proximity with Khattar ensured him ministerial berth, and then he rose through the rank in the party. When Khattar was told by the party leadership he must relinquish his seat, his pick was Nab Singh Saini. But very soon Saini would come into his own.
जितना काम किया है उसके ऊपर मोहर लगी है। ऐतिहासिक जीत मोदी जी की नीतियों को दी है।
क्रेडिट किसको
ये आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी की नीतियों को और प्रधानमंत्री जी के कार्य को ये सारा का सारा क्रेडिट हम देते हैं, जो उन्होंने जबरदस्त तरीके से हरियाणा के लोगों की अपेक्षाओं के ऊपर खरा उतरते हुए और हमारी सरकार ने उनके साथ कंधे से कंधा मिला करके जो भेदभाव क्षेत्रवाद का, परिवारवाद का, जो बढ़ता जाता था, उसके ऊपर हमने विराम लगाया है।
Haryana Chief Minister Nab Singh Saini held statewide yatra announcement MSP for 24 crops and rupees 2100 for women under Lado Ban Yojana has really consolidated votes for him. Not only this, we have seen he was also able to counter the Congress narrative of angry farmer by announcing a lot of schemes for the farmers. Not only this, he was also able to counter the narrative of Agniveer, which was mounted by the Congress by making a lot of announcement for state jobs for Agniveers. Undoubtedly, Saini has engineered the biggest electoral upset for the Congress. With Vijay, Rajesh Kumar, this is Group Singh China for NDTV, Ladwa, Haryana.
And let's bring in our guests, Maria, this morning. Sanjay Kumar, psephologist and professor of CSDS, is with us. Also, Sajjan Kumar, a political analyst. Thanks very much, gentlemen, for being with us. Sanjay ji, going across to you first. While, of course, we discuss Nayab Singh Saini and his fascinating journey, one must also look at the national ramifications of this election. Of course, the Prime Minister's appeal in the heartland, that is something that we really need to discuss. I mean, amid all these sort of talks of the brand Modi on the decline, it's clearly not the case, given the fact that the BJP has done, wonders in Haryana, returning for the third time, something that no party has done in decades.
There is no doubt that BJP has done wonders in Haryana. Returning back to power for the third time is not a small feat for any party. This has never happened in Haryana. Yes, I think after the 2024 Lok Sabha election, it seemed that there is a narrative building that BJP is on the decline in the Hindi heartland. Prime Minister Modi's popularity is on the decline. I think the Haryana election does indicate that yes, 2024 did give an indication that BJP declined in 2024. But the word which we used to use, it is on the decline. I think we have to use that word very, very carefully. Is BJP on the decline, or just 2024 was one-off? I think looking at the Haryana Assembly election, at least I would, and I think we need to correct ourselves. We need to correct our thinking that it is too early to figure out that BJP is on the decline. Prime Minister Modi's popularity is on the decline. Setback in 2024, I think BJP has been able to learn something from the setback in 2024.
Okay, and Sanjay Kumar, a word more, before we move to Sajjan, the Congress party is highlighting that perhaps there is a need to, revisit the EVM controversy again. They are hinting at that. And the vote share of both the parties are more or less the same. Do you think the Congress got its strategy wrong by not giving what the Aam Aadmi Party was asking for, perhaps just to 3 to 4 seats, because Aam Aadmi Party in this election has managed to get around 1 or 2% votes? And that is the gap between the two parties.
Yeah, that is the gap between the two parties. The gap is less than 1%. It is 0.8%. Yes, first, if the Congress has managed to form an alliance with Aam Aadmi Party, it would have definitely helped the Congress. No doubt that it would have damaged the Congress. But I don't think to the extent that Congress would have been able to pull victory and BJP would have got defeated. I think one has to look at carefully. If Congress thinks that, there is a mischief in EVM, etc., I don't think they are doing any good to the party workers. It will be only demoralizing the party workers. Look at from where Congress has traveled and from where BJP has traveled. It's not that Congress did not get an attraction. Congress added 11-12% votes compared to its vote share in 2019 assembly election. And BJP also managed to add 3% votes to its vote share in 2019. This is a case like, you remember Baria in UP, 2022 assembly elections in UP. BJP also increased, like Samajwadi Party increased the vote share. There was a lot of belief that Samajwadi Party is going to win the election. Samajwadi Party improved the performance, but just failed short of a majority. That's the case even in Haryana. Congress has improved the performance, but BJP managed to improve it further.
Absolutely. And Sajjan, come in on this, because as we discuss what went wrong with the Congress, I mean, of course, we have discussed factionalism and infighting a great deal, but look at the difference between how the BJP conducted itself and the Congress. You had Kumari Shelja on the polling day taking jibes at Mr. Bhupender Hooda, and on the other hand, somebody as tall as Mr. Manohar Lal Khattar extremely gracefully said that Haryana has only one leader, and that is Nayab Singh Saini. So, of course, these factors also, in a sense, confuse the voter, with Kumari Shelja mincing no words at all through the campaign. Sajjan Kumar, go ahead. All right. We seem to have an audio issue with Mr. Sajjan Kumar there. But Sanjay ji, would you like to take that question?
No, certainly. We have done our own polls, and there is a clear indication that in perception, 6 out of 10 voters believe that the infighting within the Congress has damaged Congress prospects, or not the dislike. Dislike would be too strong a word. But 6 out of 10 voters believe that this is not going to help the Congress. This will damage Congress prospects. And that is what we have seen in the results, that Congress did perform well. Perform well means if you look at the vote share increase, but failed to get a majority on its own.
Okay. We are hoping that Sajjan Kumar has joined us. Vedant, will you take questions with him?
Absolutely. So, Sajjan Kumar, also looking at the larger picture as far as Haryana is concerned, do you think the Congress has a lot of rethinking to do as far as regional parties are concerned, its allies are concerned? Its talks with the Aam Aadmi Party failed completely in Haryana, also a similar thing in Jammu as well. But, taking allies on board, understanding the importance of regional allies, that's something that the Congress needs to introspect about a great deal.
And just adding a word on that, whenever there is a direct contest between the BJP and the Congress is not able to match up to the election winning machine that the BJP is, Sajjan. So there is a realization, but perhaps not an acceptance of the battle they are up against. Sajjan, if you heard me. Okay, so there seems to be a technical problem with that. But the larger question certainly is that jalebi has taken center stage again in these elections. But a word on jalebis. Why are we talking about jalebis not as much as laddus here, Sanjay ji?
I think this is the lighter side of the electoral contest.
Yes.
And we should not try to get into these lighter things when elections are contested so seriously. Parties contest elections to win elections. So I don't want to get into this whole deep discussion on laddu and jalebi, etc., etc. I think this was connected largely to the issue of unemployment. I still believe that winning elections in Haryana does not mean the issues were not on the ground. I am not one of those who would agree that the Kisan factor was not there, unemployment factor was not there. These factors were still on the ground. Our survey clearly indicates that the issues of Kisan, Pahalwan and Jawan are still there. But I think the Congress misread these issues to be as large as sweeping across the state. These issues concerned only a sections of voter, and the sections of voter largely remained the Jat. So what has happened in Haryana is that the voters who sympathized with these issues, Pahalwan, Jawan, Naujawan and Kisan, they tended to vote for Congress in a big way. But those who believed or those who enjoyed the benefits of welfare schemes and other benefits of the government schemes, and also those who believe that government has been able to do good work on the ground with regard to education, health, bijli, pani, sadak, they tended to vote for BJP. So there is a clear divide. And if you look at the vote share difference between the two parties, that gives you an indication that it is just not even 1%. So the over reading of the Congress of these issues, I think that's what damaged the Congress.
Okay.
They failed to figure out that these issues are only appealing to a sections of voter, not across. This is not widespread across the Haryana.
Sajjan, if you can hear us now, finally, we are hoping.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's better. The vote share gap between the two parties is less than 1%, as Sanjay ji was pointing out. The fact is that the Congress continues to make similar mistakes election after election. In that, they create that surround sound But when it comes to the actual booth management, when you have to calculate each and every vote, that's where they're not understanding how the BJP's organizational might functions.
Yeah, that's a pan-Indian picture, Maria, but I think Haryana, that may not be the main reason why Congress lost the plot, because mind it, a small state, a strong leader, and still they have a parity vis-a-vis BJP, because BJP relatively in Haryana is not as entrenched as you say, for example, in UP, Maharashtra, Gujarat.
Okay.
Prime reason happens to be a template wherein you see a party like Congress has started relying on a dominant caste in various states who have a sense of autonomy, they have a sense of ownership of the state, and this dominant caste in Haryana, Maharashtra, etc., say Maratha Jats, they also have the leverage of projecting their caste-centric identity in a very normatively appealing framework. So when you say Jawan, Kisan, and Pahalwan, so that becomes morally and normatively very appealing. That it's an occupational identity. Haryana being a state wherein 2/3 of the population still is dependent upon agriculture, that's quite appealing, and therefore it creates an impression. But what happens to the non-Jats in Haryana? They can very easily break it down that whether you talk about Pahalwan issue, Jawan issue, or Kisan issue, primarily it means the Jat-centric issue. So I think Congress played the Jat card, was of course a bit complacent in the last leg, thinking that it's just a matter of time, it's a done deal. But primarily what happens in Haryana, I think, while there were anti-incumbency, political anti-incumbency against the BJP, the social anti-incumbency, which is more entrenched against the dominant community, that is the Jats. So return of the Jat thing, by overplaying that card, Congress ended up consolidating the non-Jat, primarily the OBCs, Brahmins, Rajputs,
Taking a cue
Baniyas,
from that, do
Punjabi,
you see on the
etc.
national level as well, does the BJP stand vindicated on key issues like, say, the farmers' protest, the wrestlers' protest, the Agniveer issue? All these are very emotive issues even nationally. Do you see the BJP stands vindicated as far as these issues are concerned?
Already this because Haryana, exactly, I do see, because Haryana results more than winning one state is about defeat of a narrative against, say, it started with on the question of farmers' protest, then it was on the Agniveer issue, because mind it, while on Agniveer was being criticized, it was not criticized as much in Uttarakhand. If you see, the number of ones who are applying in Uttarakhand has increased in under Agniveer scheme. It was primarily in Haryana, so therefore certainly in terms of the plank on the issue wherein the BJP was seemingly defensive, or at least was trying to explain, Haryana verdict is a defeat of a package of the issues which acquired prominence since the National Lok Sabha verdict in 2024. So certainly for BJP in terms of the normative plank, narrative plank, it has acquired an edge. So be it the farmers' protest against Agniveer, or on the sports paradigm, I think Haryana verdict will have a national kind of implication as far as the policy and narrative is concerned. So I do see that it would be very difficult for anyone to criticize now the Agniveer issue, because the prime state which was affected by that in Haryana has endorsed the BJP electorally.
Absolutely. I think, as Vedant was saying, the BJP stands vindicated on its policies in particular. Brand Narendra Modi, a word on that, Sanjay ji?
No, it would be incorrect to say that Prime Minister Modi's appeal among the voters has, there is no more, Prime Minister Modi does not appeal the voters anymore. But I think there is a clear indication. If I look at the data from 2014, 2019 and 2024 Lok Sabha elections, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's ability to pull votes for his own party has come down. From in 2014, it was roughly 25%, which is to say 1 of every 4 BJP voters voted for BJP only and only because of Narendra Modi. In 2019, it went up to 33%, which is to say 1 of every 3 voters voted for BJP only because of Modi. But in 2024, it came down to 25%. If I look at Prime Minister Modi's ability to pull votes for BJP in the assembly election and the Lok Sabha election, there is a difference. because in the assembly election, his ability to pull votes for the party is roughly in the range of 22 to 24%, not as high as we have seen in 2019 election. So I am not one of those who would agree or who would go along with the narrative that Prime Minister Modi's appeal has come down, has is no more. But yes, certainly there is an evidence that it has come down slightly. Prime Minister, there is another data, 24 Lok Sabha elections. On the question, who would you like to see as the Prime Minister, Prime Minister Modi's popularity had come down from 47% to 41%. There are states where Rahul Gandhi's popularity is higher than Prime Minister Modi's popularity. So there is some dip, there is some decline, but still he remains the most popular leader of BJP. He still remains the most popular vote puller for the BJP.
Sanjay Kumar and Sajjan Kumar, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your perspective this morning. We are shifting focus to another state now. This is Jammu and Kashmir. The Congress National Conference Alliance has crossed the halfway mark and has secured 49 seats out of 90, winning the assembly elections, and they are set to form the next government. Of this 49, a significant chunk was won by the National Conference with 42. The Indian National Congress just secured 6. Their strike rate has been the least in this alliance, and the National Conference strike rate was around 70%. We are now being joined by Nazir Masoodi, and we also have Sunil Prabhu joining us. But first, let's listen in to what many would say, not really a CM designate, but all set to be the Chief Minister. The leader on the hot seat right now, Umar Abdullah, had to say this morning.
हुकूमत बनते ही मैं तो ये उम्मीद करूँगा कि कैबिनेट का पहला फैसला ये होगा कि वो एक रेजोल्यूशन कैबिनेट के तरफ से पास करें कि मरकज़ को अब जम्मू कश्मीर में रियासत का दर्जा देना चाहिए। ऐसी बात नहीं है कि हम बीजेपी की सियासत को कबूल करेंगे या बीजेपी हमारी सियासत कबूल करेगी। बीजेपी के साथ तो हमारा टकराव रहेगा, लेकिन मरकज़ के साथ टक्कर करना ये हमारी कोई मजबूरी नहीं है। मरकज़ के साथ ठीक ठाक ताल्लुकात बने, मुझे लगता है ये जम्मू कश्मीर के लिए और जम्मू कश्मीर के लोगों के लिए फ़ायदेमंद होगा। जम्मू कश्मीर के वोटरों ने झगड़े के लिए वोट नहीं दिए। जम्मू कश्मीर के वोटरों ने वोट का इस्तेमाल किया क्योंकि वो रोज़गार चाहते हैं, नौकरियां चाहते हैं, तरक्की चाहते हैं, वो रियासत का दर्जा चाहते हैं, वो बिजली में एक राहत चाहते हैं, अन्य उनके जो मुश्किलात हैं वो उन मुश्किलातों का हल चाहते हैं, और वो मुश्किलातों का हल नई दिल्ली के साथ झगड़ा करके नहीं होगा।
And a number of seats in Jammu and Kashmir, there was a close contest. Vedant tells you about the key battles.
If you look at the PDP, we've been discussing how it's end of political road for Mehbooba Mufti's PDP. Even in the 3 seats it won, the margin of votes was really slender. If you look at Tral, for example, the PDP candidate won merely by 460 votes. Again, one of the 3 seats that the PDP won, and just a little over 400 votes for the PDP candidate, who of course defeated the Congress candidate here. But let's take a look at some other constituencies when it comes to the close contest. In Kishtwar, well, the BJP's only woman candidate, I must mention here, won by 521 votes. But her victory is remarkable because she defeated, a veteran, Sajjad Ahmed Kichlu, by 521 votes. She is, of course, the daughter of a terror victim. She has an extremely fascinating backstory, and also the BJP's woman candidate. So she won, but just by 521 votes there. In Patan, of course, Javed Riaz won by 603 votes, defeating the JKPC candidate Imran Raza Ansari, and it was a high-stakes campaign. If you remember Patan, areas once struck by militancy. We saw great election fervor there, but very tight contest with just 603 votes margin. Looking at some other constituencies, well, in Indrawal, the candidate Pyarelal Sharma defeated Ghulam Mohammad Dasaruri by 643 votes. Of course, Indrawal also a very fascinating constituency, in the Kashmir region, in the valley. So, of course, militancy was really in the heart of the campaign here as well, the poll discourse, and a close contest here as well. And the last constituency that we're looking at in terms of close constituencies, well, Handwara, where Sajjad Lone of course, barely managed to scrape through by 662 votes. So also, in a sense, the end of political dynasties, as many have pointed out, though, of course, the Abdullahs led the charge. But for Sajjad Lone as well, he broke down yesterday. He was extremely emotional, remembering his father, but he managed to win merely by 600 votes as well. So, Madhav, very close contest there in Jammu and Kashmir as well. All right. In fact, Naib Singh Saini has arrived in Delhi. So this, of course, there are key meetings lined up. These are, of course, procedural meetings largely, as he is said to be the next chief minister. That is clear.
Yes, absolutely. I think the endorsement that he has got from the party's central leadership, Prime Minister himself, yesterday and also during the entire election campaign was enough indication that he is going to be the next chief minister. But what becomes essential would be the caste balancing that he will be doing. Remember, for the last 10 years, we have seen the BJP, do some kind of social engineering in Haryana, where they tried to consolidate the non-Jat castes, the non-Jat voters, and that yielded political dividends in this election, and it has done in the last 10 years as well. But the larger question is that it cannot really afford to antagonize a powerful, influential community like the Jats. So what will be the, their representation in Naib Singh Saini's Council of Ministers becomes essential and important there.
And let's shift focus back, in fact, now to Jammu and Kashmir. Of course, what a fascinating election has been. It has been truly historic in more ways than one. And the National Conference and the Congress is all set to form the government. The CLP meeting is likely to be held today, is what we are picking up, where Omar Abdullah's name is likely to be proposed as the chief minister. This was also largely procedural. But Madhav, it's also going to be interesting to see if the Congress also perhaps jostles for some sort of ministerial berths as far as the Council of Ministers there is concerned, though its performance has been below par, as many would say.
So is that some kind of a road show that Omar Abdullah is doing, and is he doing early morning? He is, of course, the man of the moment. We'll try and connect with our reporters in just a bit. We are slipping into a short break. This remains our top focus here on NDTV. हम लोग जाएं अब.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead. From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of power, Delhi,
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show.
Breakfast news on NDTV, 8 a.m. every day.
कि जिसकी सरकार सेंटर में हुई है उसी की सरकार प्रदेश में होती है।
एंटी इनकम्बेंसी को कैसे देख रहे हैं? इनकम्बेंसी नहीं है,
प्रो इनकम्बेंसी।
कांग्रेस आ रही है, भाजपा जा रही है।
Congress is going to form the government in Haryana with a big majority.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
From the heart of city in Beirut, a city which is scarred by violence and
Talks will begin also in Jammu and Kashmir. The man of the moment there, Omar Abdullah, who spoke to NDTV's Nasir Masoodi first after the picture became clear. So Nazir, today is the day after that celebration. Would it be a celebration continuing? Has it really sunk in that there has been that return of the national conference the way it has? And also, what are you picking up from the Mehbooba Mufti camp? I mean, the debut of her daughter hasn't been something that they would have wanted. I mean, Iltija losing with a huge margin of almost 10,000 votes.
Exactly. And today it's expected their celebrations will continue in National Conference camp. And more people, these independents who have been the members of the National Conference but didn't get the party ticket to contest elections because of the alliance compulsion, seats went to the Congress side. So some of them are joining today, some may be joining tomorrow. There's the Pyarelal from Indrawal in Kishtwar district who won from that constituency. And it is a 90% Muslim-dominated constituency, but it is Pyarelal who has won, and he said this is the message from Jammu and Kashmir, that we don't see the religion. And in fact, Kashmir rejected religion-based politics, defeating all the candidates of Jamaat Islami. And then there's Pyarelal, who is winning. He contested independent candidate from Indrawal, winning from there, and likely to join National Conference. Back, he was in the National Conference announcing his as an MLA as part of the National Conference. And then there would be Shabir Kule from Shopian. He's also likely. There's Satish Sharma from Jammu. So Chamb constituency of Jammu district. So he may be joining back. And then there's Muzaffar Khan. He's a former judge. He didn't get the ticket from Thanamadi in Rajouri. He's likely to join back. So at least 5-6 candidates, these MLAs, these independent MLAs, are likely to join National Conference. Formally, some of them are continue to be National Conference members, but had contested as independents. Having said that, there's fingers crossed, will there be any legislative party meeting today? So far, no official word, but there have been so far. They are actually trying to come to terms, as Omar Abdullah himself said they didn't expect this mandate. There was 75, National Conference has got 75% strike rate, which is unprecedented for any party. BJP, 46%, strike rate, despite winning so many seats in Jammu, 29 seats. But the strike rate was 46%. And for National Conference, it was 75% because NC actually won just for 50 seats and they are winning. They have won. They contested over 50 seats and winning 42 seats. And BJP was contesting 62 seats and they have won 29 seats. And PDP, which contested around 80 seats, have just got 3 seats. So it was, in a sense, a rout of PDP in Jammu and Kashmir, particularly in South Kashmir, Anantnag district, you see, which was the home of PDP, where Mehbooba Mufti's daughter Iltija contested from Bijbehara. She lost with a huge margin. And so no seat from Anantnag district, no seat from Kulgam district, just 2 seats from Pulwama district. One, Wahid Tara, PDP's youth president. He has won from Pulwama constituency and Tal constituency because National Conference did not contest from Tal. So seat went to the Congress. So Congress lost and PDP candidate, he won from there. So that is how it how things have shaped in political landscape of Jammu and Kashmir. We have seen the new players who are introduced in the politics, particularly 44% independents. They have been simply decimated. Not many of them, actually just 7 who were already, as I said, NC members or the members of the other political parties, main parties. They have won, not these people who have come from and were trying to make a difference. As the center was saying for last few years, they are encouraging new leadership in Jammu and Kashmir so that Jammu and Kashmir will get rid of what they call dynastic politics, Khandani Raj, But we see, as they may call it Khandani Raj, Umar Abdullah has won a double victory. His 2 seats besides sweeping Kashmir Valley and Pir Panjal region in Jammu.
All right, Nazir, thank you so much for joining us early this morning. And with that, it's a wrap on the elections segment. Vedant will continue with all the news and latest updates.
And we're looking at news from West Bengal, the RG Medical College and Hospital rape and murder case, in which now 5 senior doctors have resigned from the hospital in solidarity with the protesting doctors. Junior doctors continue to be up in arms, demanding justice. This, of course, as a political row continues as far as West Bengal is concerned. Sanjay Roy, meanwhile, has pleaded not guilty when he was produced before the court. Listen in, though, however, to what the governor of West Bengal had to say.
You as a governor, the caretaker of this constitution of West Bengal, what is your take on this, sir?
In the name of Goddess Durga, I am confident to say that whatever is to be done to give them justice will be done. Let the heavenly blessings of Ma Durga be showered on everyone in Bengal now.
Let me go live across to my colleague Saurabh Gupta joining us from Kolkata. So Saurabh, while Durga Puja festivities continue, the doctors are also up in arms. They continue to demand justice. Justice has been rather elusive when it comes to this particular case. No real headway made. Sanjay Roy pleads not guilty. And now 5 senior doctors have resigned in solidarity as well. That's an important development.
Well, actually progress has been made. The CBI has filed a charge sheet, it's completed investigation, but legal processes take time. They don't happen overnight. There is a certain process to be followed in any legal, system. And for an accused to be punished, there has to be a proper trial. The process of filing charge sheet, framing of charges, conducting of trial has to happen, and those things don't happen overnight. They take a certain amount of time. Charge sheet has been filed. In terms of security setups, there is a certain amount of progress. However, the Supreme Court has said it's study, and the state government has said that there are floods. They are also busy with pujas and all of that. However, you're right, the doctors continue their protest. And they say that the justice is still elusive. But if the expectation of justice is defined, then it would take some time for example, say the accused to be hanged. But if you look at the charge sheet of the CBI that's been filed, it's very clear that the evidence that's there against Sanjay Roy, the accused, is very, very strong. Not only is there digital CCTV evidence that establishes him at the spot, there is material evidence of a Bluetooth headphone, which the CBI mentions in the charge sheet. There is forensic evidence of hair strands. There is forensic evidence of saliva matching. All of these evidences clearly establish that the investigation, at least as far as Sanjay Roy is concerned, has been quite strong, and the evidence against him is quite strong, which the CBI has presented him in court. And yes, much of that evidence was also collected by the Kolkata police. However, the doctors have continued their strike. They say that their justice is elusive. They say that, they're trying to change the system at medical colleges and hospitals. They also say that, that they will continue their protest. Senior doctors have joined their protest. However, there has been progress both by the CBI, at least in filing the charge sheet, which is a very important step in, punishing the guilty if that's the demand.
Saurabh, headway has been made as far as the investigation is concerned, but of course doctors also point to the larger issues of security as far as hospitals are concerned. The Calcutta High Court also pointing to the quote-unquote threat culture as far as the hospitals there in West Bengal are concerned. So all those issues need to be looked at, but an important development there with 5 senior doctors resigning in solidarity with the protesting doctors. Moving now to what's been our big focus on NDTV. Well, the crisis in West Asia, the conflict only seems to be expanding with multiple fronts now open as far as the war is concerned. It's been described as a 7-front war. Beirut is certainly the center, the epicenter of the entire conflict, with multiple Israeli strikes hitting Lebanon. In fact, people are now fleeing from Lebanon towards Syria. So the border, as far as the border with Syria is concerned, it remains extremely sensitive. The Israeli border also remains extremely sensitive. But look at those absolutely heartbreaking visuals. It's about the humanitarian cost of a war. These little children whose future now hangs in the balance. They're all moving towards Syria. There is no safe haven as far as West Asia is concerned anymore, given the fact that the conflict has expanded to so many parts of the territory. In fact, look at those women, those children, all of them fleeing towards Syria. So certainly a new crisis at hand as far as West Asia is concerned. Let's in fact first listen in to all the reactions that have come in. In fact, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu has said that Lebanon is now the new Gaza. Take a look.
You have an opportunity that hasn't existed in decades. An opportunity to take care of the future of your children and grandchildren. You have an opportunity to save Lebanon before it falls into the abyss of a long war that will lead to destruction and suffering like we see in Gaza.
Let me go straight across to my colleague Mohammed Ghazali. Ghazali, it's over to you. You've been reporting on the humanitarian crisis as far as Lebanon is concerned. Go ahead.
See, you just heard the Israel Prime Minister, Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu, issuing an appeal to the Lebanese people that you have to abandon Hezbollah, stop supporting them. And it is almost a reminder of what and how he addressed the people of Iran, how he addressed the people of Gaza. And also, before every attack on any region, Mr. Netanyahu goes on, appeals the people to escape or sort of leave that region, and then starts the aerial attack on that particular region. This has been happening on the southern border or the southern suburb of Lebanon, because Mr. Netanyahu had first said that perhaps people have to leave those positions, those villages. And first the Prime Minister announces it, then the IDF announces it in Arabic to address the people in the region, and then it starts the attack. And this has been happening for the last 1 week. The situation in the southern suburb of Lebanon is very dire, because not only the ground engagement with the combat forces is happening on the southern suburbs, but aerial attacks have been also happening on areas which Israel claims is the stronghold of Hezbollah. But the civilian casualties have been very high in Lebanon for the last 2.5 weeks since the pager explosion was reported from this region. And now Israel is also claiming that its navy will get or enter into Lebanon to occupy more territories, because yesterday in one of the areas which is close to the Israeli-Lebanon border, which Israel claimed was perhaps a launch pad or kind of a workstation for Hezbollah from where it used to launch rockets towards Israel, has been occupied by the Israeli forces. They have posted Israeli flag in that particular region. Many villages have been evacuated, and not just near the border areas. Right now, I am here in Beirut, in the city center, and right behind me is the area called Dahieh. Dahieh is one area where Israeli bombardment have been intense. Every day almost there have been bombardments in that particular region from where the Hezbollah Secretary General Hassan Nasrallah was killed. Now, what has happened in the last 24 hours? The deputy chief of Hezbollah issued a public statement yesterday addressing the people of Lebanon, saying that perhaps Israel has not been able to dismantle its operations, Hezbollah's operations, and their power, their influence is still intact, and they're engaging in ground combat with Israeli forces. And that is why their influence have been so enriching, perhaps, that Israel has been forced to choose the option of entering into Lebanon through the sea route, through their navy forces. But what we are expecting is that despite all the appeals of ceasefire, the US has said that perhaps it has failed to achieve the ceasefire, and now they want Israel to dismantle Hezbollah and deplete its influence in Lebanon. So what we are expecting, that this war will continue to go on. And in the Israeli media, in the Israeli society, people are also rooting for it, asking Israel to destroy Hezbollah. But back in Lebanon, there are many people, and we reported yesterday from the Syria-Lebanon border, because families in Lebanon are now leaving Lebanon. They're migrating towards Syria, and it's almost a kind of history repeating itself for those people who had migrated to Lebanon a decade ago from Syria when the civil war or the influence of ISIS and operations between Assad's forces and ISIS and Al-Qaeda had happened. These people had left Syria and come to Lebanon as refugees. And now, yet again, after the violence here, after the war has broken out, these people are leaving Lebanon and moving towards Syria. Israel also destroyed the road which connects between Syria and Lebanon, and there are countless families. There have been intense displacement in the entire country. More than 3 lakh people is what the UNICEF and other humanitarian organizations have said, that there are people who are internally displaced, people who were staying in southern Beirut or southern Lebanon who faced the attacks are now moving towards north. People in the north who faced attacks are moving towards the city center. hotels, hospitals, government schools have all turned into a temporary refugee camp for these people, and local and international NGOs are kind of assisting these people for relocation. But as of now, there has been no word that how people or parties who are involved in this conflict will achieve the ceasefire. The deputy chief of Hezbollah yesterday, while addressing the Lebanese on a Lebanese television channel, perhaps said that they want ceasefire, but not at the cost of Gaza, because they want the ceasefire first to happen in Gaza. They want Israel to stop its bombardment and attacks in Gaza, but it doesn't look so that Israel will choose to halt the war right now, because Benjamin Netanyahu has been claiming that he wants to eliminate these two groups, Hamas and Hezbollah. But perhaps the targets of Israeli government has not been achieved despite this war now crossing 1 year. It has just crossed 1 year. But Hezbollah yesterday also launched rockets towards Israeli city of Haifa. Hamas has been firing rockets into Israel. And right now, it doesn't look so that any of the parties involved in this particular conflict are going to de-escalate. And the United States, as usual, has certainly failed to achieve any kind of ceasefire. And they are now backing Israel to continue with its operation, thinking or sort of expecting that Israel will be able to eliminate these two groups. So this war is expanding not just in the border areas of Lebanon, but now with the Israeli forces or the Navy forces deciding to get into Lebanon through the sea route, it appears now that Israel will try to get in, and the southern border areas of Lebanon have been occupied by them now. So the army will try to get in, but they're also getting heavy pushback from the Hezbollah fighters near the borders.
Ghazali, thanks very much for bringing us that ground report. Do stay safe yourself. This, of course, as Lebanon has really become the epicenter of the war. With that, we'll step into a short break now, but news continues right here on NDTV.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro. World's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
The BJP is set to hold the Haryana government formation meet. This as Naab Singh Saini has already arrived in the national capital. A big shock for the Congress in Haryana. This as the Congress party lags behind with significant number of seats. The National Conference song but takes the Congress along in Jammu and Kashmir. Umar Abdullah set to stake claim to form government. More than 1 million Lebanese people displaced. This as Lebanon has become the center of the crisis.
NDTV World Summit 2024, October 21st and 22nd, only on NDTV Network.
The moment I saw it, I thought I will have to come here.
I'm loving it. An experience to remember for a lifetime.
जानू ना मुझको कैसे है पा लिया इस शहर ने लापता था मैं पहले अपना लिया इस शहर ने शोर भी लगे एक दिन की तरह हर दिन लगे एक नई सी सुबह भीड़ सी है इस डगर में लाखों सपने हैं नजर में लाखों से तेज है पर मौज सी है इस सफर पे
क्योंकि अभी एक IFP करके एक फेस्टिवल और होता है, आपका भी तो IFP में सेशन था।
कोई था जिसका IFP में सेशन नहीं था।
being here, man. IFP is like home.
Feels so good to be here. Feels good to be back, feels like home.
It was a wonderful session, and my first time at IFP has been a blast.
I loved it. The energy in the room was absolutely brilliant.
I'm so glad to be here. It's an electric atmosphere. So many people who love films here.
It's so exciting because the audiences have been extremely warm, and we have all of these amazing people over here.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital, Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always buzz. It's literally a city that never sleeps. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead.
From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of power, Delhi,
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show.
Breakfast news on NDTV, 8 a.m. every day.
Good morning, everybody. It's been a grand verdict day for the BJP. The party has managed a hat-trick in Haryana. This is particularly significant because no party has come back to power for the third time in Haryana since its inception in 1966. In Jammu, it has managed to strengthen its position.
Absolutely. And for the Congress party, it seems like everything has gone wrong. I mean, there's a lot of introspection that's needed for the Congress party. It's definitely come as a huge disappointment for the Congress party in Haryana. Even in Jammu and Kashmir, we've seen the Congress party has been limited to just a few seats. Well, of course, a lot of introspection that is needed for the Congress party here. What's gone wrong and how it has gone wrong, all that we will talk about in this edition. Let's start with the headlines.
Haryana's new government is in focus now. Nayaab Singh Saini, who's the caretaker chief minister, is all set to meet Prime Minister Modi today.
Omar Abdullah tells NDTV that differences with BJP are there, but won't fight them, will pass statehood resolutions.
In Kolkata, mass resignations by the RGK's senior doctors. Now, doctors have said that Mamata government is oblivious of the conditions that doctors are forced to work in.
NDTV is reporting from the war zone at Lebanon-Syria border. More than 1 million Lebanese people have been displaced. Netanyahu has warned Lebanon of facing destruction like Gaza.
In US, Hurricane Milton closes in on Florida. Thousands are fleeing the state. Well, a day after the BJP managed to strike a hat-trick in the state of Haryana, politically significant victory. Haryana caretaker Chief Minister Nayaab Singh Saini is in Delhi today. He will be meeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Yesterday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed his party workers and said that the Haryana victory was a befitting reply to the Congress party, which he alleged was trying to divide the country on the basis of caste. Mr. Saini is also likely to meet Home Minister Amit Shah. Yesterday, he had a word with him over the phone. He will also be meeting BJP President JP Nadda. There were very important meetings that were held by the BJP in the residence of Manohar Lal, former Chief Minister of Haryana. Of course, government formation is going to be key. Dharmendra Pradhan, the Prabhari of the state, also Biplab Deb, the co-Prabhari of the state, were also present at the meeting. JP Nadda's residence also witnessed many important meetings yesterday by BJP workers. Clearly, a lot of focus on the new government, but
absolutely,
sources have told us that Nayaab Singh Saini is going to continue being the Chief Minister.
Well, yes, he's the man of the moment. Well, the credit, of course, goes to Nayaab Singh Saini also. Most of the credit, of course, goes to the Chief Minister. And as we've been reporting, that sources are telling NDTV that Nayaab Singh Saini is very much likely to continue as the Chief Minister. He was given the responsibility just 6 months back, after he was replaced, ML Khattar was replaced, and Nayaab Singh Saini was sworn in as the Chief Minister of Haryana. Well, it's just been 6 months, and what a quick turnaround we've seen in Haryana. Well, we've seen it was a completely different picture yesterday in the morning. Well, Congress was seemingly getting majority of the seats in Haryana, as the exit polls had predicted. But the picture quickly turned in favor of the BJP. And of course, at this moment, that's the breaking now coming in. The focus is now on Haryana government formation, and important meetings are lined up today. The BJP central leadership is expected to meet today.
And Kitty, the importance of Nayaab Singh Saini lies in the fact that he comes from the OBC community. He's a Saini. He was picked by the BJP leadership. He's considered very close to Manohar Lal. So clearly, this is a testimony of the fact that the BJP acknowledges the contribution of not just Mr. Saini, but also Manohar Lal Khattar, because yesterday the Prime Minister in his speech mentioned both the former Chief Minister and the present Chief Minister. And today what we understand is that Nayaab Singh Saini will be speaking to the Prime Minister and also to the Home Minister. Amit Shah has been micromanaging a lot of activity there, and a lot of credit also goes to somebody like Dharmendra Pradhan, because he's been, in some ways instrumental in reorganizing the organization in Haryana. Remember that BJP and Congress were even Stevens in Lok Sabha elections of 2024, 5 seats each. But
yes, now that you've spoken about Dharmendra Pradhan, he is a key strategist of the BJP, of course, and a lot of credit goes to Dharmendra Pradhan, because he's been he's played a very important role when it came to Odisha, when it came to Uttarakhand years back, of course, for the BJP victory in these states, of course, and now in Haryana. Well, silently, as it is being said about the BJP also, the BJP is often referred to as the election winning machine, and these are the
election juggernaut.
Yeah. Yes. These are the silent workers of the BJP, including Dharmendra Pradhan also, who's a key strategist of the BJP. And a lot of credit, of course, goes to Dharmendra Pradhan also here.
Okay, and let's also look at some political reactions to this story, because, Kitty, the Congress has not been, Congress has been very difficult. It has said that it will not be accepting this election results. And of course, it took a long while for even Bhupinder Singh Hooda to come out and say that he finally concedes. So this is a big setback for the Congress. In fact, many Congress leaders have said that Congress has snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. So clearly, a lot of introspection needed there. Let's look at some political reactions to what happened in Haryana.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में जिस प्रकार के काम कर रही है, सारे देश में माहौल अच्छा है, लोगों के मन को भाने वाले इस प्रकार का जो रिजल्ट दिया है, और साइलेंट वोटर जो है इसमें बहुत बड़ी भूमिका निभाई है उसने, क्योंकि वोकल वोटर तो हमेशा मीडिया में इधर उधर जा करके जाके एजेंसियों को अपनी बात बताता है, साइलेंट वोटर को बताता नहीं है।
सर, जिस तरह से सरकार गठन है, कितने दिनों में प्रोसीजर पूरा हो जाएगा?
अब ये तो पार्लियामेंट्री बोर्ड और हमारे जो प्रदेश के लोग हैं वो मिलकर के तय करेंगे।
सर, मुख्यमंत्री कौन होंगे?
तो वो ही तय करेंगे।
My colleague Gurpreet joins us. Gurpreet, it was great talking to Nayaab Singh Saini yesterday. You managed to find him. Tell us what is the plan for today? Of course, he's arrived in Delhi. He's going to be meeting the Prime Minister and Home Minister. A couple of meetings are scheduled there. The face of the cabinet, Haryana cabinet, is likely to be slightly different now because the BJP has managed a bigger vote share in all parts of the state, including the Jat and, of course, the belts like Sirsa, where Dalits have voted in large numbers. So clearly, there'll be a lot of rethink. But of course, Nayaab Singh Saini continues to be the CM, is what we hear.
Well, we have seen after making history in Haryana politics, Nayaab Singh Saini has already gone to Delhi, where he's going to discuss each and every strategy of Haryana to find out who will be his cabinet ministers. So that is one of the major issue which is going to discuss with the party high command, so that they are going to take all the calculative steps as of now. We have seen 6 months before the polls, Nayaab Singh Saini had come into picture. He has been appointed as a replacement of former Chief Minister of Haryana, ML Khattar, and after that we have seen that lot of caste combination had been made by the party, and the main thing which we have learned from the sources also, the people who are facing anti-incumbency, whether it's the minister or MLA, they have been replaced by the party so that the people will not face any anti-incumbency in the various constituencies, and that formula had really worked in Haryana politics. We have seen now what we have learned, a lot of new faces are going to be taken place in Nayaab Singh Saini's cabinet, and today the main agenda which he is going to discuss with the party high command, that when he is going to take oath as a chief minister, and after that who will be his cabinet members. So that is the point which they are going to discuss. What we have learned, Nayaab Singh Saini has already taken some names along with him, so that if the party is going to put a stamp on the names of Saini who have been picked by Nayaab Singh Saini as a cabinet colleagues, whether he will be able to get the green signal from the party high command, they are going to discuss. We have seen not only the
yes, absolutely. We'll talk more about that, but also give us an update about what's happening in the Congress camp also. We've seen, well, how after the Haryana poll debacle, the knives are out. Well, there's this infighting that is taking place once again in the Congress camp, where Kumari Shelja clearly yesterday had blamed the Congress state unit and the Huda camp for the defeat of the Congress party in Haryana. What's happening there?
Well, Congress has already started introspection, and they have got all the data from the various constituencies. But we have learned this time, the difference between Kumari Shelja and Bhupinder Singh Hooda had really paid a heavy price within Haryana politics. What we have learned for the last so many days when the campaign was going on, Kumari Shelja was absent, and now it seemed that was a big blunder. The party high command even did not approach her, did not pacify her, and after the intervention of Gandhi, she has come back into Haryana politics. So all these points are being discussed at the length with all the top cliques, whether it's the central leadership or the state leadership. They are considering all these points, and somewhere down the lane it seemed they were not able to encash anti-incumbency, the farmer issue, the wrestler issue, even they were talking about the Agniveer schemes. It seems that their strategy, political strategy, had not really worked for the Congress to come back into Haryana. So now what they are trying to learn from all the leaders, the infighting was the one of the major reason, and other they were not able to carry forward their campaign according to the people's expectation, and somewhere down the lane it seems the unemployment, that was their main poll plank, that hadn't worked very well. We had a word with Nayaab Singh Saini, the Chief Minister of Haryana. He was saying we had provided a lot of job, but in our case no kharchi parchi was being done by any of the leaders from the BJP, and that had been appreciated by a lot of youngsters, lot of people in the state of Haryana, and that had become strength of the BJP. So let's see how the Congress is going to talk out its political strategy, but as of now it seems that they have already missed the ship, and now they have to wait and watch to make a new political strategy to just curb this infighting, or some new faces are coming in Haryana politics to lead the Congress.
You know, all right. Well, You absolutely rightly pointed that out, Vasudha, that is something that the Congress party, of course, needs to do. A lot of introspection. Of course, there are elections that are due in Maharashtra, Jharkhand also, and next year you have Delhi elections also. But what we see happening on the other side is that the Congress party is back to blaming the EVMs.
Right, that is true.
Yes,
and,
yesterday.
And this is something that the party has, party has done even in the past. But clearly, this was a very different sort of a complaint, and which is why the Prime Minister also said that this is an attempt to also undermine democratic institutions. And another thing, Kitty, that the Prime Minister did talk about is how the Congress party has always been dependent on allies. This is a big humiliation for the Congress party, the Haryana defeat, especially because when it comes to a straight fight, be it Jammu or Haryana, the Congress party has managed to succumb to the BJP, which is why the setback is even bitter. But Gurpreet, stay with us because we have another important story. We talked about Tirupati laddus being a political weapon the whole of last week and of course before that. But now jalebis have taken over. Chaats and jalebis have been the flavor of Haryana elections. And what has happened now is that the BJP has been using jalebis to take jibes at the Congress party. Remember, while addressing a rally in Haryana's Gohana, Rahul Gandhi specifically said that the sweet makers or the small businessmen of Haryana were not getting their due because the BJP government did not believe in their talent, and jalebi, especially the sweet famous in Haryana, was not given its due. It could be exported if the centre gives the sweet makers and small businessmen their rights and facilities. And of course, what happened now is that the BJP is using jalebi to get back at the Congress party. It has
In the Congress party office yesterday, early in the morning, jalebis were being made.
Yes.
And of course, the statement of Rahul Gandhi that you're referring to, the BJP has been mocking Rahul Gandhi over that statement, saying that Rahul Gandhi doesn't even know that the jalebis are not made in factories. Deepinder Hooda had put out this tweet a few days back saying that these jalebis would be sent to the BJP office on the evening of October 8 when the results are out. But of course, things have changed in Haryana, and the BJP, of course, emerged as the winner. And now BJP here is taking a jibe at the Congress party. Haryana BJP put out a tweet yesterday saying that 1 kilogram of jalebi has been sent to Rahul Gandhi's house, and they've put out that tweet in which, the address of Rahul Gandhi is also mentioned, and the 1 kg of jalebis now have been sent to Rahul Gandhi. This is what has been said in that tweet.
Okay, let's also go across to Gurpreet. Gurpreet, somebody yesterday corrected me saying that these are not even jalebis, that they are jalebs. So clearly there's a difference in the kind of sweets that jalebi is often contested for. Tell us, how has jalebi become like this? How has it come at the center of this political, bickering between the BJP and Congress in Haryana?
Well, on the social network, we have seen this jalebi has become one of the main political color at this point of time, and we have seen the BJP has been very sarcastically running a campaign on the social media. One side we have seen that Deepinder Hooda was offering these jalebis to Rahul Gandhi also, and Rahul Gandhi has also mentioned about these jalebis that he has taken from Ghana and saying he is bringing one box for Priyanka Gandhi. So immediately when the verdict had been changed on the screen, all the leaders of BJP, they had started distributing jalebi and saying these jalebis will be sent to Rahul Gandhi because somewhere down the lane it was his favorite during the election campaign and he is missing all these things. So in a nutshell, we have seen the BJP is holding a big campaign on the social media against this jalebi, and specifically they are taking a jibe at Rahul Gandhi's statement and Deepinder Hooda's statement. Deepinder Hooda has already said that these jalebis will be sent to BJP office on the day of result, but now we have seen these jalebis has already taken a center stage on the social media platform, and all the leaders, they are showing jalebis, and they are also saying these jalebis are not being made in any factory, they are being made at the halwai's shop, and that is the sweet shop which is being prepared. So let's see that how the Congress is going to take this jibe by the BJP, and we have seen
whether there is going to be a response from the Congress or not, well, there is not much really left for the Congress to say here. And on top of that, this infighting that is once again taking place within the Congress, Haryana Congress camp, that's also something that's really sad to see. Well, that's been one of the reasons for the Congress loss. in Haryana, and the Congress is back at it. All right, thank you so much, Gurpreet, for getting us all those details there. Well, let's also now talk about the Jammu Kashmir elections. Yeah. The Congress National Conference Alliance crossed the halfway mark and secured 49 seats of the 90 total seats, winning the assembly elections, and is also set to form the government. Of these, 42 seats belong to the National Conference, 6 to the Indian National Congress. Well, Omar Abdullah is all set to become the Chief Minister of Jammu Kashmir, and Farooq Abdullah had clearly announced that yesterday. We've also spoken to Omar Abdullah exclusively. Let's listen into what he had to say.
यहाँ हुकूमत बनते ही मैं तो ये उम्मीद करूँगा कि कैबिनेट का पहला फैसला ये होगा कि वो एक रेजोल्यूशन कैबिनेट के तरफ से पास करें कि मरकज़ को अब जम्मू कश्मीर में रियासत का दर्जा देना चाहिए। ऐसी बात नहीं है कि हम बीजेपी की सियासत को कबूल करेंगे या बीजेपी हमारी सियासत कबूल करेगी। बीजेपी के साथ तो हमारा टकराव रहेगा, लेकिन मरकज़ के साथ टक्कर करना ये हमारी कोई मजबूरी नहीं है। मरकज़ के साथ ठीक ठाक ताल्लुकात बने, मुझे लगता है ये जम्मू कश्मीर के लिए और जम्मू कश्मीर के लोगों के लिए फ़ायदेमंद होगा। जम्मू कश्मीर के वोटरों ने झगड़े के लिए वोट नहीं दिए। जम्मू कश्मीर के वोटरों ने वोट का इस्तेमाल किया क्योंकि वो रोज़गार चाहते हैं, नौकरियां चाहते हैं, तरक्की चाहते हैं, वो रियासत का दर्जा चाहते हैं, वो बिजली में एक राहत चाहते हैं, अन्य उनके जो मुश्किलात हैं वो उन मुश्किलातों का हल चाहते हैं, और वो मुश्किलातों का हल नई दिल्ली के साथ झगड़ा करके नहीं होगा।
Okay, joining us now is Nazir from Srinagar. Nazir, remarkable comeback by the NC after that humiliating defeat in the Lok Sabha elections of Omar Abdullah in the hands of Sheikh Engineer Rashid. But clearly here Omar Abdullah is also striking a reconciliatory note, making it clear that there will not be any unnecessary, conflict with the centre. And of course, Congress is part of the alliance, but just with 6 seats. That has been a setback for the Congress as well. How do you see this alliance working, and what is the latest? When is Omar Abdullah likely to take oath?
Well, the alliance, it is, which is widely believed, and it's really evident that Congress has won these seats on the back of National Conference, not on its own strength. It could have shown its strength in the main Jammu area, where they could not win even a single seat, and the performance was pathetically bad, poor. Having said that, National Conference, besides winning 42 seats, they are expected to get 5-6, independents. Most of them are still NC members, but contested as independents because they didn't get the seats mostly due to the alliance, compulsions. Those seats went to the Congress, but NC members chose to contest as independents, and most of them have won. So today, some of these independents are expected to join back National Conference officially. Some may join in next few days, and there will be a legislative party meeting. NC has not announced the date and timing yet to elect the leader, and then there would be a meeting of the alliance also with Congress and the CPM member Mohammed Tariq and others, these independents, and then there would be the leader of the ruling party, and then that would be submitted to the governor, and they will stake the claim, and at the time which would be convenient to both, that the oath taking will take place. I think it will take few days, but clearly this election is a setback for the Congress, where it is a big win, a resounding victory for the National Conference. We're only talking about the Congress setback in Haryana. There's a bigger setback for the Congress in Jammu and Kashmir also. Now, when it's clubbed with the National Conference, so it is seen as a victory, though it's not a victory for the Congress. It is clearly a victory of the National Conference. And the other parties like BDP has also suffered a rout in this election after contesting around 80 seats, and they have just won 3 seats. In last 2014, they had won 28 seats, were the single largest party. So this election is actually redefining politics. On one hand, you have a National Conference, almost absolute majority. On the other side,
absolutely
you have
a setback for the PDP here, and even the Congress couldn't really do much here in Jammu Kashmir. What about the BJP? BJP managed to win 29 seats, of course, in the election. But what is the strategy of the BJP going to be going forward?
Well, BJP, leader Ram Madhav, who was sent here as a special, leader, for arrangement during the elections to work, because he has vast contacts in Jammu and Kashmir, and he was here to see not only was see the elections, manage the election, but also see in case BJP falls short of seats. There are so many contacts in so many parties. So he could have used them. But since the National Congress has got to almost absolute majority, so there's no point of BJP now even trying to, form government. They have got 29 seats mainly in Jammu. More than BJP, it's a challenge for Umar Abdullah how he will accommodate representation from Jammu so that no region, no religion, no language is left out of the, governance in Jammu and Kashmir, government structure in Jammu and Kashmir. And when I asked the same question to Umar Abdullah, he said he will accommodate, he wanted to give due representation to everybody after forming the government.
Right. Thank you, Nazir, for joining us with those critical details. It has been a remarkable comeback for the National Conference, winning 42 seats and a strike rate of 75%. So clearly, the party has sent out a very important message that it is the #1 party when it comes to Kashmir. But the story is different in Jammu, with the BJP strengthening its position and also increasing its vote share. So clearly, the Kashmir story, the Jammu Kashmir story, is not over yet. Of course, the government is going to be formed, and it will be interesting to see if there is actually a cordial working relationship between the new elected J&K Assembly and, of course, the LG and the centre. Joining us now is Manisha Priyam, political and social commentator, and we also have Amitabh Tiwari, who is a man of numbers and also political commentator. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining me on this show. Joining us on the show, to you, Amitabh Tiwari, first, Kitty and I were discussing as to where did the BJP actually perform so well in Haryana, because every area, every region seems to, witness an increase in vote share and also seat share. So clearly help us understand who are the people who voted for the BJP in huge numbers, and is there any truth to this pro-Dalit and anti-Jat consolidation that we are talking about?
I think the BJP contested this election in a fairly local manner. BJP is used to contesting state elections like national elections, but realizing that there was some bit of anger. See, the farmers' protest, the Agniveer protest, and the wrestlers' protest, these were all undoings of the central government and not necessarily the state government. So the BJP made this election a very seat-by-seat election. They saw that their core vote base could not like the return of the Jat era, because the Congress gave tickets to almost 30 plus Jat candidates, and it was clear that if the OBC, SC and the Punjabi Khatri community, which are traditional backers of the BJP over the last 10 years, if they were to remain in power, they would have to vote for the BJP. And also, we cannot ignore that there was a bit of, or there is an element of
breaking news, Samna, which is the Shiv Sena UBT mouthpiece, has made a very strong attack on the Congress party, blaming it for its performance and making it clear that when it comes to a straight fight between the Congress and the BJP, the Congress has often faltered. This is something that allies of India bloc have often talked about. Now, allies are hitting out at the Congress party, and this is crucial, Kitty, because this comes just before the seat sharing arrangements get finalized in Maharashtra Mahavikas Aghadi. So Uddhav Thackeray hitting out at the Congress party, making it clear that when it comes to a straight fight, the Congress is up to no good deal.
And after the Haryana loss, it's very important to note here, Vasudha, that the Congress party would definitely be at the mercy of its alliance partners when it goes to elections in Maharashtra or even Delhi next year. Now, this is some important bit of information that has come in. The UPT has said that the Congress must learn from its Haryana loss, and K. Shailja has been publicly humiliated during the polls. Well, my colleague Sujata is also now joining us on the broadcast here. Sujata, take us through the details now. I think there's some problem with the audio there with our reporter. We'll go back to Sujata in just a moment. Well,
let's take that question to Manisha Priyam. Manisha, help us understand when the UBT Shiv Sena says that the Congress High Command failed to control factions. There are precedents to this. We saw what happened in Madhya Pradesh. We saw what happened in Chhattisgarh. We have Sujata back with us. Sujata, tell us what exactly does this Samna piece say, and how sharp is this attack? Because yesterday also we saw UBT spokespersons come out and criticize the Congress very sharply.
Well, certainly, and considering the nature of the upcoming Vidhan Sabha elections in Maharashtra this time, it is Samana which clearly came out and stated about how it was Congress not taking benefit of the BJP's vulnerabilities in the state, which led to them not taking the complete benefit, and the disarray of interest and factionalism within the Congress led to them losing a tray of win of seats that were ready for them. And also in Samana, which comes under the UBT faction of Shiv Sena, it stated that somewhere the Congress must be cautious and take lessons because considering, be it the entire leads that the Congress was taking in the start, it was very evident that the Congress could make their government in the state. However, the Haryana polls has completely given a warning sign for the Mahavikas Aghadi too, where it is, the Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Shiv Sena, which has stated and mentioned several reasons. And also they did accuse the former Chief Minister Dipinder Singh Hooda about how it is his own mindset that he believes that Mr. Bhupinder is the sole decision maker in the party, and several senior leaders like Shailja Kumari was also sidelined and her decisions were not taken, leading to a state of factionalism, and also the top tier authority of the parties were not able to include themselves in the affairs of the election in the process of it, because of which it led to the Congress unable to secure the majority. And also because it is a state of seat sharing discussions which is underway in Maharashtra for the upcoming assembly elections. Congress and Shiv Sena UBT are definitely on one-to-one basis.
We'll come back to you. Sanjay Raut of Shiv Sena UBT is speaking on this. Let's listen into that.
बदलू शकला असता किंवा अधिक ज्याला काटेकी टक्कर म्हणतो ती होऊ शकली असती. काही पक्ष असे आहेत की ज्यांना तिथे महत्त्व देणं गरजेचं होतं. समाजवादी पार्टी असेल, आप तिथे निवडणुका लढते, आपच्या मतांचा जिथे काही टक्का आहे, या सगळ्यांशी चर्चा करून इंडिया आघाडी म्हणून जर हरियाणामध्ये निवडणुकांना आपण सामोरे गेले असतो तर निकालामध्ये नक्की बदल झालेला असता. पण हरियाणाचा निकालाचा फायदा एक झाला की महाराष्ट्र.
It was a very close call that Congress was unable to form its government. However, it was a good fight by the Congress.
महाराष्ट्रात होणार.
The fault and the mistakes done by the Congress as well as the opposition in Haryana will not be repeated in Maharashtra.
Power वगैरे हे विषय जे आहेत हे आमच्या डोक्यात सुद्धा येत नाही. कसली बार्गेनिंग पॉवर महाराष्ट्राच्या प्रतिष्ठेच्या संदर्भात कोणते
The bargaining power in regards to seat sharing is not amongst us, the Mahavikas Aghadi, and we are very sure of what is going to be our next move.
माननीय उद्धव ठाकरे यांनी सांगितलं ते 100% सत्य आहे. जम्मू काश्मीरच्या निवडणुकीमध्ये ओमर अब्दुल्ला हा चेहरा होता. लोकांनी ओमर अब्दुल्ला आणि इंडिया आघाडीला मतदान केलं, ते मान्य केलं पाहिजे. हरियाणामध्ये सुद्धा जर
It is very true what Uddhav Thackeray says with respect to the face of the Chief Minister. Omar Abdullah was the face in Jammu and Kashmir which eventually led to people dropping in votes for the India Aghadi.
आधी निवडणुका लढायच्या, जिंकायच्या आणि मग नेता, हे धोरण लोकांच्या पचनी पडत नाही. माझा नेता कोण या राज्याचा, माझं नेतृत्व कोण करणार आहे, या राज्याचा चेहरा कोणता आहे हे स्पष्ट केलं. एकनाथ शिंदे हा चेहरा नव्हता, तो लादलेला चेहरा आहे. आता त्या चेहऱ्याने सामोरं
It is very clear that who is going to become the face of a chief minister, because people want to know who is going to be their leader. Eknath Shinde, during his tenure now as the chief minister, he was never the face as the leader in the start, which eventually led to this time they will not be able to secure the majority votes, but we are very sure of our votes.
नहीं, कोई असर नहीं. हिंदी जो मामला है लगभग पूरा हो चुका है, लेकिन हमको कुछ सबक लेनी पड़ेगी. कुछ बातें ऐसी है जो हरियाणा में हुई है, जो नहीं होनी चाहिए थी, वो महाराष्ट्र में हमको दुरुस्त करनी पड़ेगी. एक उससे फ़ायदा हो गया कि जो हरियाणा में जो गलतियां हुई, ऐसा लगता है, हमें लगता है, शायद कांग्रेस को नहीं लगता होगा. मैं इंडिया गठबंधन की बात करता हूँ, मैं महाविकास आघाड़ी की बात करता हूँ, तो महाराष्ट्र में उस हिसाब से हमको काम करना पड़ेगा. रीजनल पार्टी के सपोर्ट शिवाय, सपोर्ट के बिना चाहे कांग्रेस पार्टी हो चाहे बीजेपी हो, कोई भी देश में राज नहीं कर सकता. चाहे बीजेपी हो। आज बीजेपी की सरकार तो रीजनल पार्टी के ऊपर ही बनी है ना।
India allies, of course, are now questioning the Congress over the Haryana laws. That's Sanjay Raut speaking to the media. Earlier, TMC also had questioned the Congress party over Haryana laws, saying that they need to introspect. It's the arrogance that's cost the Congress in Haryana. And now you have the UBT saying that K. Selja was publicly humiliated during the polls and the Congress High Command failed to control the factions. That is something that's responsible for the Congress party's loss here. Sujata, well, it's very much clear the Congress seems to be losing the negotiating power here when it comes to the allies after the Haryana loss. Not just the Aam Aadmi Party or TMC, but it's the UBT also now questioning the Congress party.
Exactly, and if you look at the series of events that have happened in the past, it was after the Lok Sabha polls that the bargaining power of Congress in Maharashtra somewhere had increased, and now for the upcoming Vidhan Sabha polls, it was Congress very well sure that they will be able to, get better votes and better seats this time with regards to the Vidhan Sabha polls. And also, as per what the exit polls in Haryana stated, that Congress was clearly on the verge and it was a clean, swift win for the Congress. But after the results, it is now the other members of the Mahavikas Aghadi who clearly seem dissatisfied with Congress performance, and this is not because of the number of seats that they have scored and whether it was less than what it was required, but it was also the Samna which stated that it is not about winning or loss, but it is about the top tier controlling their party, and how it was the Haryana state unit which failed to give the needed attention and the needed decision making power to other leaders, and it was the former chief minister of the Congress, that is Mr. Huda, who took all the decisions and thought himself as the sole bearer of the party, eventually leading to this happening. So somewhere the bargaining power in Maharashtra is definitely going to be impacted in the Mahavikas Aghadi as well, considering that the dates of the Vidhan Sabha polls in Maharashtra also seems to be nearing. So at this point, definitely in Congress in Maharashtra too, the leaders will try to ensure that they assure the Mahavikas Aghadi of them keeping a close check and control on the disarrays that has been happening in the party internally, where several leaders in the past have also expressed their dissatisfaction.
In the Mahavikas Aghadi was also who will be the CM face, and there's an implicit understanding in the MVA that there will be no CM face this time, although there's been a lot of clamour in the UBT Shiv Sena to project Uddhav Thackeray as the CM face. Would this also increase noise and clamour for Shiv Sena, in the sense would this also put Shiv Sena in a stronger footing, considering that the party, but of course Congress performed really well in Lok Sabha, so it can't be easily given to the Shiv Sena as well. That's what the Congress has also been saying.
Well, yes, and if we speak about the Lok Sabha performance of the Congress, where it scored 13 seats in Maharashtra, and also considering that how Uddhav Thackeray this time in the Vidhan Sabha polls, it is going to be important to see and witness his performance based on the sympathy ground that he has been on so far because of the faction and the split that happened in 2022. And so far, the Mahavikas Aghadi has always been vocal about how they are on, always of the view that Shiv Sena UBT must be given the role of a big brother in the Aghadi, considering their strong hold as the Marathi Manos, and because Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray follows the hierarchy of Balasaheb Thackeray, so the vote garnering power of UBT becomes stronger. But this time it was the Congress too who did ask for a big leap, and also out of the 288 seats in Maharashtra, it was Congress who was willing to fight on at least 130 to 150 seats. However, now after this entire results seen, we see that the episodes of seat sharing distribution vary, and where Shiv Sena UBT now in a stronger position, considering the support and also the Dashera Melawa in Maharashtra, which is to be held on the 12th of October.
Let's
it
go
will be
to Mr.
important to
Amitabh
witness the number of crowds.
We've kept Mr. Tiwari waiting, but a lot of developments, of course, taking place here. Mr. Amitabh Tiwari, well, the India allies are now questioning the Congress party, of course, over the Haryana loss. The TMC, now the UBT, how do we really see it here playing out, in the coming elections, specifically Maharashtra, Jharkhand, and the Delhi polls, of course, that are due to take place next year?
And Mr. Tiwari, if I may add, the Prime Minister also talked about it yesterday. When it comes to a straight fight between the Congress and the BJP, why does the Congress falter? Because this actually gives a lot of ammunition to this theory that regional parties are stronger when it comes to countering the BJP.
So yeah, if you see, this is the third straight election where the Congress party had chances to defeat BJP, but it was not able to, after Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and now Haryana. So, of course, allies are taking pot shots at the Congress party because Aam Aadmi Party and Samajwadi Party both were demanding a few seats in Haryana. In Maharashtra, what happens is that this defeat of the Congress party weakens its bargaining power in the seat distribution. As your reporter said, the Congress party, after the Lok Sabha performance, was demanding a lion's share of seats. However, NCP Sharad Pawar and Shiv Sena Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray, they are harping on a theory of or a formula of 1/3 seats each. And Uddhav Thackeray Sena is also demanding for Uddhav Thackeray to be announced as the CM phase because he was the CM. So now both the regional parties will put pressure on the so now both these regional parties would put pressure on Congress.
Let's also get our viewers some breaking news. Haryana Caretaker Chief Minister Saini is in Delhi. He has in fact arrived to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi in his residence in LKM. Remember, there's an important meeting that is also going to be held here. This is all planning for the next cabinet. Remember that the BJP actually fielded a lot of fresh candidates, new faces. So of course, Kitty, this time the Haryana cabinet is going to be a newer cabinet. It's also going to see a mix of old and new. This is a massive victory for the BJP, not just in terms of number of seats, but also, increase in vote share. Mr. Saini will also be meeting Home Minister Amit Shah. He had a chat with him yesterday over the phone line. He'll also be meeting BJP President JP Nadda. And BJP will also be holding meetings on Haryana government formation. This comes after several meetings were held in Manohar Lal's house yesterday and also in BJP President JP Nadda's house.
Back-to-back meetings that are taking place yesterday, of course. 2 meetings at least that we know of that had taken place, 2 to 3 meetings that had taken place, and today this is an important meeting that is going to take place. BJP central leadership is going to be meeting. Well, what we are learning now is that Nayab Singh Saini has already reached Lok Kalyan Marg and he is going to be meeting Prime Minister Modi. Prime Minister Modi has already congratulated Nayab Singh Saini for this decisive mandate that the BJP has got in Haryana. We'll talk about this and more. We'll be taking a quick break here. We'll be right back.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
कि जिसकी सरकार सेंटर में हुई है उसी की सरकार प्रदेश में होती है।
एंटी इनकम्बेंसी को कैसे देख रहे हैं? इनकम्बेंसी नहीं है,
प्रो इनकम्बेंसी।
कांग्रेस आ रही है, भाजपा जा रही है।
Congress is going to form the government in Haryana with a big majority.
NDTV World Summit 2024, October 21st and 22nd, only on NDTV Network. Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
From the heart of city in Beirut, a city which is scarred by violence and caught between the crossfire between Israel and Hezbollah. A war which started a year ago between Israel and Hamas has now spilled over to Lebanon. NDTV is on the ground to bring latest updates, in-depth analysis, and how the evolving war has impacted this country. Stay tuned for latest updates.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always bustling. It's literally a city that never sleeps.
And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Started.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
Welcome back. Naab Singh Saini, the caretaker chief minister of Haryana, where the BJP has managed a hat-trick, and this is a significant coming for the first time in the history of Haryana. Now, Naab Singh Saini has arrived in Delhi. In fact, he has arrived at the Prime Minister's residence. Naab Singh Saini is meeting the Prime Minister, and he will also be meeting Home Minister Amit Shah and BJP President JP Nadda today. All this with regard to government formation in Haryana, and of course, the nature of the cabinet is going to be very different. Joining us now is Aishwarya, my colleague, who's been tracking this story. Aishwarya, Naab Singh Saini is in Delhi to meet the Prime Minister. Yesterday, the Prime Minister showered a lot of praise on him and also in his predecessor, Manohar Lal. So clearly, it's a good day for him. He is likely to come back as the Chief Minister again. But the Haryana cabinet, the BJP cabinet, is going to be different because there will be inclusion of new faces. Considering so many castes and communities have voted for the BJP, there will be a difference in that as well.
Well, certainly it is, of course, Naab Singh Saini, who had a historic victory, and Bharatiya Janata Party State President of Haryana, Mohan Lal Badauli, Badauli has also reached national capital. Naab Singh Saini met Prime Minister Narendra Modi a short while back at 7 LKM along with Amit Shah and JP Nadda over there, and from there he is now on his way to Haryana Bhavan. Later he will be meeting many other senior leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party as well. Clearly, this is regarding the government formation because the Bharatiya Janata Party wants continuity in the state of Haryana, and therefore they want to move it in a very fast pace as far as the oath-taking ceremony is concerned and the work concerned to the public in Haryana is also. So certainly it is Naab Singh Saini who will later in the day will also meet Manohar Lal Khattar at his residence as well. But certainly as of now we can tell our viewers that Naab Singh Saini, the designated Chief Minister of Haryana, had met along with BJP State President of Haryana, Mohan Lal Badauli, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah at 7 LKM. Remember, at 10:30 there is a cabinet meeting, and post that there would be several meetings that are also lined up for Naab Singh Saini in national capital.
That are coming in at the moment from outside Lok Kalyan Marg, where the home of Prime Minister Modi, where Naab Singh Saini had gone to meet the Prime Minister and also Union Home Minister Amit Shah, and he's now headed to the Haryana Bhavan at the moment. He's the man of the moment, and it's because of him. The credit, of course, goes to Naab Singh Saini, who was appointed as the Chief Minister of Haryana just 6 months back, and there was of course, apprehension, there were doubts, but he managed to pull this off. And of course, the credit must be given where it is due, and it definitely goes to Nayaab Singh Saini and the team that had been working, to ensure that the BJP, gets this decisive mandate that has been given to the party by the people of Haryana. Well, also, we are now shifting our focus to some more news that we're tracking at this point in time. The Reserve Bank of India has kept its key interest rate unchanged for the 10th consecutive time. Its Governor Shaktikanta Das announced today. What does this mean for you? My colleague Sakshi Bajaj explains.
Well, that's right. The key lending rate really unchanged at 6.5%. What does this mean for you ahead of the festive season? Well, it really means that your EMIs have not changed. So the RBI leaving the lending rate unchanged for the 10th consecutive time. Remember, these rates have remained steady since the RBI decided to balance inflation and growth essentially. So very crucial.
Okay, we will try and connect with Sakshi, but let's also talk about Nayaab Singh Saini, who is basically in Delhi. But other important stories, the RBI has kept its key interest rate unchanged for the 10th consecutive time. Its Governor Shaktikanta Das has announced this. Of course, this means a lot for the middle class. Sakshi, you're back with us again. Tell us what does this signify?
Well, absolutely. What does this mean for you, the consumer, the viewer? It essentially means that your EMIs haven't changed. So really no relief for buyers ahead of the festive season. The RBI leaving the repo rate unchanged at 6.5%. Remember, the lending rate has now been unchanged for the 10th consecutive time. And remember, this comes due to the fact that the RBI was maintaining a cautious approach in the aim towards balancing inflation and economic growth both at large. RBI governor very clearly stating there that, look, domestic growth has sustained momentum and the growth projection for India as the economy has been left unchanged at 7.2% at large for the current financial year. So painting a very optimistic picture as far as growth is concerned, but also saying that going forward for inflation, we will need to keep an eye out, because he does say that, look, due to unfavorable base and food inflation rates, going forward, the CPI print for September, for the month of September, the CPI print may come in higher, the RBI governor says. So inflation really is something one will have to watch out for. Also says that, significant risks to inflation continue to stare at us, but India's economy at large is presenting a very stable picture in the face of, remember, what the world is facing at large, geopolitical risks dominating the rest of the world. So the RBI governor very clearly saying that India's economy is maintaining a stable picture at the moment.
All right. Thank you so much, Sakshi, for getting us all those details there. That's the big development that has taken place. We have more news that we're tracking at this point in time amid the Israel-Hezbollah conflict. Israel has said that Nasrallah's successors have been eliminated completely. The UN chief also has given a statement saying that Lebanon is on the verge of an all-out war. Let's listen into these reactions coming in. My colleague Ghazali is also on the ground. He's reporting from the war zone, getting us details from there.
You have an opportunity that hasn't existed in decades. An opportunity to take care of the future of your children and grandchildren. You have an opportunity to save Lebanon before it falls into the abyss of a long war that will lead to destruction and suffering like we see in Gaza.
The situation in the southern suburb of Lebanon is very dire, because not only the ground engagement with the combat forces is happening on the southern suburbs, but aerial attacks have been also happening on areas which Israel claims is the stronghold of Hezbollah. But the civilian casualties have been very high in Lebanon for the last 2.5 weeks since the pager explosion was reported from this region. And now Israel is also claiming that its navy will get or enter into Lebanon to occupy more territories, because this yesterday, in one of the areas which is close to the Israeli-Lebanon border, which Israel claimed was perhaps a launch pad or kind of a workstation for Hezbollah from where it used to launch rockets towards Israel, has been occupied by the Israeli forces. They have posted Israeli flag in that particular region. Many villages have been evacuated, and not just near the border areas. Right now, I am here in Beirut, in the city center, and right behind me is the area called Dahieh. Dahieh is one area where Israeli bombardment have been intense. Every day almost there have been bombardments in that particular region from where the Hezbollah Secretary General Hassan Nasrallah was killed. Now, what has happened in the last 24 hours? The deputy chief of Hezbollah issued a public statement yesterday addressing the people of Lebanon, saying that perhaps Israel has not been able to dismantle its operations, Hezbollah's operations, and they are power, their influence is still intact, and they're engaging in ground combat with Israeli forces. And that is why their influence have been so enriching, perhaps, that Israel has been forced to choose the option of entering into Lebanon through the sea route, through their navy forces. But what we are expecting is that despite all the appeals of ceasefire, the US has said that perhaps it has failed to achieve the ceasefire, and now they want Israel to dismantle Hezbollah and deplete its influence in Lebanon. So what we are expecting that this war will continue to go on. What is the cost of this migration and this conflict? You see this family here, they are from Lebanon, but they're trying to move towards Syria, and this is a young girl with me. I'll just try to speak to her about what has been... Wait, what is
Arabic.
Just little English. What is your name?
Suraya, and I go to the Syria. I love Lebanon.
Why are you going to Syria? Why are you leaving Lebanon?
Because in Lebanon is danger.
It's danger. These young kids are also walking on foot with their family, and the reason being that this entire road which I had just shown you is damaged near the Syrian-Lebanese border. On my back, you see this is the road which goes towards Syria. I am in Lebanese territory, and for the last 1 week, this area has faced intense bombing, and that is why there is a big crater on this street, on this highway, which has compelled people to stop their car before they could get into Syria. So all these cars you see behind me, they're all queuing up here, because just a short distance from here, you can see people getting down, alighting from their car because the cars can't move. And this is the situation that every minute behind me, on this side is Lebanon, and you see all these people getting down. Every minute there is a car which is coming, a family inside with all their belongings. They're all moving towards Syria. They say Lebanon is not safe, and this is the fate of these people who don't know that what lies in future for them as the war. And I'll just try to see that what is happening here, because a lot of people, they're all moving towards the Syrian territory. They've got the documents. Do you want to say something? You want to say something?
Yes, I will miss Lebanon so much. Bye.
Bye. Stay safe. Stay safe.
Bye. Bye.
Suraya, stay safe.
We'll go to stay safe forever and Syria.
Inshallah. We'll be
Inshallah,
safe.
inshallah.
Thank you, Suraya. Thank you. Stay
Thank
safe.
you.
Thank you. So this is a little kid, and this shows the cost of war which has been inflicted on a population which has nothing to do with this conflict. And now thousands of people are queuing up near the Syrian-Lebanese border. People from Lebanon are moving towards Syria, not knowing what lies ahead in the future. From Syrian-Lebanese border, Mohammed Ghazali for NDTV.
The price of war, humanitarian crisis unfolding there. Now, meanwhile, Naab Singh Saini, the caretaker chief minister of Haryana, speaking. He's in Delhi. Let's listen into what he says.
हर वर्ग के लिए चलाई है, उसका परिणाम है, उन नीतियों का परिणाम है, मोदी जी की लोकप्रियता का परिणाम है। मोदी जी को देश के लोग प्यार करते हैं, मोदी जी को देश के लोग स्नेह करते हैं, और उसका परिणाम है भारतीय जनता पार्टी हरियाणा के अंदर तीसरी बार प्रचंड बहुमत से वो आई है। और हरियाणा के लोगों का मैं दिल से धन्यवाद करता हूं कि जिन्होंने मोदी जी की नीतियों के ऊपर मोहर लगाई है। मैं सभी का आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। मैं अपने हरियाणा के भारतीय जनता पार्टी के सभी कार्यकर्ताओं का भी मैं दिल से आभार व्यक्त करता हूं, जिन्होंने इतनी कड़ी मेहनत और सरकार की डबल इंजन की नीतियों को जन जन तक पहुंचाने का काम किया है। मैं उन सब कार्यकर्ताओं को भी दिल से आभार व्यक्त करता हूं, उनको धन्यवाद देता हूं कि उनकी मेहनत के कारण हम तीसरी बार सत्ता में आए हैं। आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी,
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
NDTV World Summit 2024, October 21st and 22nd, only on NDTV Network.
The moment I saw it, I thought I will have to come here.
I'm loving it. An experience to remember for a lifetime.
जानू ना मुझको कैसे है पा लिया इस शहर ने लापता था मैं पहले अपना लिया इस शहर ने शोर भी लगे एक दिन की तरह हर दिन लगे एक नई सी सुबह भीड़ सी है इस डगर में लाखों सपने हैं नजर में लाख लो से तेज है पर मौज सी है इस सफर पे
क्योंकि अभी एक IFP करके एक फेस्टिवल और होता है, तो अभी आपका भी तो IFP में सेशन था।
कोई था जिसका IFP में सेशन नहीं था।
I love being here, man. IFP is like home.
Feels so good to be here. Feels good to be back, you know, feels like home.
It was a wonderful session, and my first time at IFP has been a blast.
I loved it. I loved it. The energy in the room was absolutely brilliant.
I'm so glad to be here. It's an electric atmosphere. So many people who love films here.
It's so exciting because the audiences have been extremely warm, and we have all of these amazing people over here.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
From the heart of city in Beirut,
After BJP's big win in Haryana, Prime Minister Modi has met caretaker Chief Minister Nayak Singh Saini. Haryana government formation is the focus.
Key India bloc allies have now questioned Congress party over its loss in Haryana after Aam Aadmi Party and TMC. Now, UBT Shiv Sena has called out the Congress party after its loss in Haryana polls. India allies have slammed the Congress party's arrogance.
Omar Abdullah has spoken to NDTV saying that there are differences with the BJP, but we won't fight them. We will pass statehood resolution soon.
Big news from RBI, no relief in EMIs. Key lending rate unchanged. RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das led Monetary Policy Committee has made this announcement, saying that repo rate has been kept unchanged.
NDTV reports from war zone, Lebanon-Syria border. More than 1 million Lebanese people have been displaced in the ongoing war. Netanyahu has warned Lebanon of facing destruction like Gaza.
In the US, Hurricane Milton now closes in on Florida. Thousands are fleeing the state. Well, a day after the BJP struck a hat-trick in the state of Haryana, becoming the only party since the inception of the state of Haryana in 1966 to come back to power for the third time, it's the Congress party that's facing the heat. Remember, the party has been sitting in the opposition for the last 10 years. This time it was hopeful of defeating the BJP, but that hasn't happened. It continues to be in the opposition. Now, allies, India bloc allies have questioned the Congress party's strategies and also its abilities to take on the BJP when it comes to a direct fight between the BJP and the Congress party. It's not just the Haryana, even in Jammu, the Congress party has managed to just win one seat. It was a direct fight between the BJP and Congress, and it's the BJP that has managed to strengthen its position in Jammu, even as the NC continues to reign supreme in the whole of J&K. But allies on offensive, Congress on the back foot now, specifically with regard to its Haryana performance, where it performed not as per expectations and will continue to be part of opposition.
Absolutely, Vasudha. Now, India allies hitting out at the Congress over the Haryana laws. It's not just the Aam Aadmi Party or the TMC, but also Uddhav Sena that has slammed the Congress party. Uddhav Sena mouthpiece Samna has mocked the Congress, saying that the Congress needs to learn from the Haryana laws, and it also went on to mention that K. Selja was publicly humiliated during the polls. Well, we do understand there was infighting going on between the Selja camp and the Huda camp, and that was certainly out in the public, and that's what the that's what has been mentioned in UBT mouthpiece Samna. The Congress High Command failed to curb the infighting. That is what it has said. Now, what the TMC has said? TMC has said that it's the arrogance of the Congress that has led to the loss for the Congress party in Haryana. Not just that, Aam Aadmi Party boss Arvind Kejriwal also has hit out at the Congress party for the infighting, taking the infighting jibe at the Congress party.
Well, Aam Aadmi Party is also in some ways justified in its anger against the Congress Party because it was a state unit of, led by Hudas, which also led to the Aam Aadmi Party Congress deal not working out. TMC, of course, Mamata Banerjee has never been part of the India Alliance before elections. She has always had problems with Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary and the state unit. But, of course, all allies taking pot shots at the Congress Party. Let's first listen into what Sanjay Raut of Shiv Sena UBT said today.
हरियाणा में इंडिया गठबंधन नहीं बन पाया क्योंकि वहाँ कांग्रेस को लगता था कि बस हम अपने ताकत पर अपने बलबूते पर जीतेंगे तो सत्ता में और कोई भागीदार नहीं चाहिए। तो हमारे जो मित्र है हुड्डा जी या कांग्रेस के नेता है उनको लगा कि हम ही जीतेंगे। अगर समाजवादी पार्टी है अखिलेश जी की, आप है केजरीवाल साहब के नेतृत्व में, हमारे जैसे छोटे छोटे दल है, हमारे खाते में 1-2 सीटें आ जाती तो ज़रूर ये जो चित्र है, ये निर्णय है जो जनता ने दिया, उसमें जरूर बदलाव होता है। मैं ये मानता हूँ कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने जो चुनाव लड़ा है वो बहुत ही बेहतरीन तरीके से लड़ा है। हारी हुई बाजी बीजेपी ने जीत ली, ये मान्य करना पड़ेगा।
Sanjay Raut of Shiv Sena UBT making an important point there, alleging that the Congress party did not give due importance to its own allies, including Samajwadi Party and Aam Aadmi Party. Remember, these were parties that were eyeing for a few seats. Of course, those deals did not really work out. And Aam Aadmi Party has managed to get a little bit of vote share in certain parts of Haryana, including in the district of Kurukshetra. Going across to my colleagues, Sujata, who reports from Mumbai, and of course, Saurabh Gupta, who is joining us from Kolkata. Sujata, to you first. This is a very sharp attack on the Congress party by Shiv Sena, led by UBT, and it comes at a very critical time because the seat sharing arrangement talks are going on, and there has been an implicit understanding that there will not be a CM face, and this is not something that the Uddhav Thackeray faction of the party wants. They want Uddhav Thackeray to be designated as a CM face. So clearly, Congress facing a lot of heat from its Mahavikas Aghadi allies.
Well, yes, and speaking on that, it was Uddhav Thackeray who was being seen up and looked up as the chief ministerial face in the upcoming elections. But this time it was the seat sharing that somewhere led to a tussle that was happening, where Congress did ask for a lion's share in this entire seat sharing talks. But after the Haryana poll, it is somewhere that the Samana as well as Uddhav Balasaheb Thackre's various leaders, including Sanjay Raut, have been clearly mocking Congress for their performance and also how somehow it was a ready-to-win election for the Congress, but it was their overconfidence and also the factionalism that led to this incident happening, where the Congress did not turn up to form their government, and the move of the Congress to go solo in the elections eventually led to them losing the elections. So somewhere Sanjay Raut definitely hinting at things not going right with the Congress in the Haryana, and also, but he did say that this will not impact or affect the upcoming Vidhan Sabha polls in Maharashtra at all. But what remains to be seen that this statement at this appointed time, where the seat sharing talks are underway until the 12th of October, it is the Mahavikas Aghadi who has to finalize their seat sharing talks, and where in Mumbai and several other regions in Maharashtra, after the Lok Sabha polls, the Congress is demanding a lion's share in the seats. However, will they be given that or not, considering and taking in review of their recent Lok Sabha, Vidhan Sabha, as well as the recent results that has come out in Haryana? It is somewhere a big doubt with regards to the Mahavikas Aghadi integrity and unity at this point. But what a message that Sanjay Raut did give was praising the BJP for its performance, stating that it was a loss for the BJP as per what the exit polls did show, but it was BJP who converted it into a win. So somewhere Sanjay Raut at this point against the Congress and mocking them for the
Developments here,
performance.
Sujata. I'll come back to you. Sujata. Looking at the developments that have taken place now, with the UBT now hitting out of the Congress party, looks like the Congress is certainly on the back foot here and seems to be losing the negotiating muscle when it comes to talks with the alliance partners over the seat sharing. Let me go across to Saurabh also here. Saurabh, not just the UBT or the Aam Aadmi party, but also the TMC now hitting out at the Congress party, with Saket Gokhale putting out this tweet saying that arrogance, entitlement and looking down on regional parties is a recipe for disaster.
Absolutely. And with the Trinamool Congress and the Congress party, specifically in the West Bengal context, this has been a problem. Now, even if you look at the Lok Sabha elections, the seat sharing deal did not work out between the Trinamool and the Congress party. Because the number of seats that the Congress demanded was something that the Trinamool felt that the Congress didn't have the wherewithal to win. Now, in a state like West Bengal, of course, the situation may be slightly reversed for the Congress, where it is, of course, the smaller partner and the Trinamool is the larger party in terms of organization, vote share and number of seats won in previous elections. But look at it from the national picture and look at regional parties and how, the Congress can form alliances with them. And like Sujata was explaining, for example, whether it's the chief ministerial face in Maharashtra in Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray, or whether it's the Congress states like Haryana, where many believe that perhaps an alliance with the Aam Aadmi party could have bettered the chances of the Congress party, because the results clearly didn't go as they expected. So in West Bengal too, the Trinamool has been saying is that the Congress needs to adopt a change in its attitude towards regional parties, which it can partner, because the larger sort of anti-BJP platform on the anti-BJP political forces in the country can come together. But for that, the Congress needs to, stop acting as the big brother when it comes to regional forces. And that's something that perhaps is an issue we will see in recurring elections vis-a-vis seat sharing negotiations. We are already seeing it in Maharashtra, like Sujata was explaining. In West Bengal, that has happened during the Lok Sabha elections. There was no seat sharing deal and it didn't go well for the Congress. The Congress actually, lost a seat from the last time. Adit Chaudhary, who was vehemently against an alliance with the Trinamool, lost his own seat.
Saurabh will come back to you.
Saurabh, and also going across to Aishwarya now, Saurabh is making a very important point here. Of course, TMC was never part of the India bloc, when the elections began, and of course when the India bloc was formed. And Mamata Banerjee has always had problems with the way Congress leadership behaved, not really consulting people when it comes to presidential candidate or vice presidential candidate. But the BJP also has in some ways a narrative role to play in this, and this is why I would like to get Aishwarya on this. Aishwarya, the Prime Minister spoke about how the Congress party has always been dependent on allies. In fact, he has always called the Congress party parasite-like. That's a very sharp attack. And yesterday he said that, he repeated it. So how is the BJP looking at Congress party facing all this criticism, attack from its own allies?
Well, yesterday as well, it was Prime Minister Narendra Modi who sharpened his attack on the Congress party, stating that it's one royal family that is that lives in a 5-star, and they want to govern the entire country. They do not go to the roots, and they're dependent on their allies. And whenever there had been alliance with the Congress party, in fact, the Congress party had suffered, and that too we have seen in the state of Haryana and also in the national capital as well. The Congress and Aam Aadmi Party, remember, were in alliance in the national capital as well for the Lok Sabha polls. Faced a 7-0 defeat in all the 7 Lok Sabha constituencies. In Haryana as well, there was no alliance that was made, and therefore it impacted. And largely, if we see the data coming out from the Election Commission of India as far as the vote share is concerned, majorly where the Bharatiya Janata Party had won these seats with a margin of close to 1,000 to 2,000, there were several of those constituencies where Aam Aadmi Party got at least those number of votes which can cut the Congress share and had gained to the Bharatiya Janata Party ultimately. So of course in the Bharatiya Janata Party is looking at region wise, and the senior leadership had clearly stated to us that every state elections are different, every polls are different for them, and they make their strategies according to that particular region as well. And looking at different states coming up in the elections, whether it is Delhi, Jharkhand, Maharashtra, they will be making their strategy according to what the opposition is also thinking on. So clearly, the BJP is thinking far more ahead. Of course, the strategies are being made at this level when the election dates are not only announced. There are several meetings that had been done in different states, including Maharashtra, Jharkhand, and Delhi. There had been already in charges that have been made. They have been stationed at those states. So BJP strategy is very different, as they say that BJP is always in election mode around the year.
Right. Thank you, Aishwarya. So, resounding victory of the BJP in Haryana, this hat-trick that the BJP scored in Haryana yesterday, and the setback to the Congress party that continues to be in opposition in Haryana, of course, will have political consequences, because while it puts the BJP in a stronger footing in the upcoming elections, particularly in the states of Haryana, like our colleagues were also talking about, and of course, in Jharkhand, there is a price that the Congress will have to pay politically, electorally, in terms of seats, in terms of narrative, in terms of the way its own allies see it. And that's what we will discuss today. Joining us now is Tarun Upadhyay, who is a senior journalist. And we also have Sajan Kumar, who is a political commentator and author. Thank you both of you for joining us on this show. Sajan, to you first. There is an increase in vote share. There is an increase in also seat share of the BJP. But what these election results have also done for the party largely is, in some ways, it has vindicated the positioning of the party in terms of its popularity, especially after what we saw in 2024, Lok Sabha elections. On the 4th of June, there was this slight doubt that the popularity of the PM is probably not as much as people thought it was, and clearly that the BJP probably is in a state of decline. Now, all of that in some ways has been proved wrong, because in Jammu, the party has strengthened its position, and in Haryana, it looks like it's a force that is going to stay, because clearly a big vote share and a historic hat-trick. How do you see BJP's positioning nationally and the impact on the Congress party?
Yeah, Vasudha, two things. One, coming to Congress, you see a colossal gap between the rhetoric that Rahul Gandhi has been using for the last couple of years, a very radical pro-Dalit, pro-tribal, and pro-weaker section egalitarian rhetoric. But when it comes to the real politics, they happen to do just the opposite, choosing the dominant intermediary communities or caste who have a feudal trait as their prime anchor. So you have to do either one of them. You cannot nail them together. So this is a gross misfit. So for example, choosing communities like Jat at their prime anchor, or say, for example, Marathas in Maharashtra, while talking about the radical Dalit interest, etc., it doesn't gel together, because the ground experience is completely different, and that leads to the kind of disaster which has been there. So this is one. Two, for BJP, the impact is going to be colossal. One, mind it, Haryana has been a state wherein all the narrative that hit BJP very strongly in the Lok Sabha election, be it on the plank of farmers issue, be it on the plank of Agniveer, and also on the plank of racial protest. So that was Pahalwan, Jawan, and Kisan, while it was supposed to decimate BJP's normative edge, which has been declining or perceivably declining since Lok Sabha election. Now, this electoral victory in Haryana is not just a simple arithmetic victory. It is a defeat of the narrative. How do you now attack the Agniveer? Because it is in the state of Haryana that BJP has been vindicated. Now, you cannot go to Bengal and Maharashtra and criticize Agniveer scheme. Similarly, on the farmers' plank also, there has been an endorsement. So that way, whatever be the case on the ground, in terms of the normative age, in terms of the narrative kind of a war, Haryana victory is going to resonate across India, and immediately it is going to have the resonance in Maharashtra, because mind it, there also we already see the kind of uncomfort within the India alliance. But more important would be, will you allow a dominant section in Maharashtra, say like Marathas, cater to their own interest in the name of farmer, in the name of soldier, in the name of so many other occupational identity, while the rest who would be expected to just be the supporting band? So that sort of a Congress kind of a radical narrative of the weaker section, while making the dominant feudal reactionary section, be it KAP or a section of other reactionary forces, as their prime anchor to defeat BJP,
So
is not going to work.
Pahalwan assessment that the Congress had, it definitely has gone wrong. It hasn't worked in the favor of the Congress party. And of course, this victory in Haryana is definitely what many are calling as a booster shot for the BJP. Going forward in elections in Maharashtra, Jharkhand, or Delhi, that is going to take place next year, of course. This definitely has come as a boost for the BJP. Celebrations had been taking place yesterday all day, and today also, of course, important meetings that are taking place. Haryana government formation, of course, is going to be in focus now, but nevertheless, let me go across to Mr. Tarun Upadhyay also. What has gone wrong for the Congress here? We do understand the India allies are now hitting out at the Congress party over their loss in Haryana. The Aam Aadmi Party chief, Arvind Kejriwal, has said that the biggest lesson to be drawn from this loss in Haryana is never be overconfident. Stronger words being used by other allies. TMC saying arrogance is a recipe for disaster, and that's what has happened to the Congress here. Going forward, they're going to lose the negotiating muscle here, sir, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you in all the terms which you have stated, that it's a mix-up of all the things which you have stated, the arrogance, the overconfidence. And the party, I think, was believing that it will win by default. I will give you one instance, one or two instances. The party has got just 6 seats in J&K, just 1 seat from the Jammu region and 5 from the Kashmir region. It is the lowest tally of the party in the entire political history of Jammu and Kashmir. The last time its tally was 7 seats, that was in the 1996. So you can well understand how low the party has hit, not only across the country, but also especially in Jammu and Kashmir. There are a couple of factors to be analyzed why the party, why the result was so. Firstly, unlike the Prime Minister, who addressed, I think, about 7 to 8 rallies across Jammu and Kashmir, mostly focusing on the Jammu region, Home Minister Amit Shah addressed about a dozen rallies, even in the remote areas of Jammu region, in the Kishtwar, where no person of his stature has addressed the rally before. That shows the conviction and the strategy of the party. Look at the Congress. Rahul Gandhi addressed just 4 rallies in the entire political campaign across the Jammu and Kashmir. Secondly, Priyanka Gandhi addressed just 1 rally in the Jammu region. And thirdly, I traveled across the Jammu region for the coverage of these elections. We could hardly see the party flags, even next door to the candidates who was contesting from their own constituencies. There were so many issues on the platter for the Congress party. I mean, there was a lot of disenchantment.
The Congress party continues to blame the EVM, sir. EVMs are to be blamed. That is what the Congress party is
but the same
back
EVM,
at, the old textbook.
But the same EVMs gave the party 100 seats in the last parliamentary elections. Then how can they blame the EVMs? I mean, the point is that the party has to think, does it want to be a politically serious player or not? Or you just want to make us some alibi and blame either the EVM or the election commission? That won't work. The point is the party is not getting traction. And
No,
that is
clearly the
the
party's
reason.
narrative, like both of you are also saying, has to be in tandem with, the central leadership. And like Sajjan was also pointing out, there can't be a discord between what the state leadership is doing and what the central leadership is doing. There can't be, that kind of, lack of coordination even in theorizing what you really want for people. But, like Kitty was also saying that these elections will have an impact on the upcoming Delhi elections as well, where the Aam Aadmi Party, of course, is a stronger force, and Congress Party has been decimated a number of times in the last few years, and the BJP is an emerging force. So let's listen into what Aam Aadmi Party Supremo Arvind Kejriwal said yesterday on the prospects of the Congress Party and how it needs to sort of rework on its strategy.
पहली चीज़ तो किसी भी चुनाव को हल्के में ले लेना चाहिए। अभी तो पता नहीं नतीजे क्या हैं, लेकिन आज के चुनाव से सबसे बड़ी सबक यही है कि ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस मत करना कभी भी। किसी भी चुनाव को हल्के में नहीं लेना चाहिए। हर चुनाव कठिन होता है, हर चुनाव में हर सीट कठिन होती है, मेहनत करनी है।
Okay, going back to Sajjan. Sajjan, I would want you to talk a little bit more about the social anti-incumbency. So while the Jats were not in power, there is a certain feudal social order that is in place in several states. Is that what also, contributes to people making political choices? Because like you said, lived experiences cannot be, dismissed. So while Rahul Gandhi is going to Dalit kitchens, why are the Dalits of Haryana not voting for him?
Even Uday Bhan lost his seat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, precisely because of, this entire Bahujan, the root, let's digress a bit. Mayawati's and Kashiram's experiment of Bahujan discourse had a kind of a very decisive blow in the very genesis itself in the early 1990s, when they tried to come together with the Samajwadi Party and ground experience, and thereafter they changed from Bahujan to Sarvajan, and that was an electoral success. In Haryana, coming to Haryana, Jats are 25%. They have, in terms of they own almost 1/3 of the land. Similarly, they also have the political clout. They have the financial clout, and thereafter they also have a bureaucratic presence. So that way, coupled with that, there is a sense of owning the state. Similarly, you find, say, for example, among the Marathas in Maharashtra. So that sort of a very domineering presence. So this is one. So what happens? It's a question of the memory. So when BJP was there for 10 years, and there were certainly so many drawbacks and lacunas in governance on the governance index. So there was political anti-incumbency. But what Congress did, by completely relying on one community, one leader who have a decisive say, it ended up triggering the memory of, something which is an everyday reality. And therefore, what happens that since Jats are so domineering, they also started making strong noises, and therefore whatever narrative we were getting was from their perspective. Why something that the non-Jats in Haryana could break down, and we did not do it before the election, was that they also have the moral plank of projecting their caste identity tactically in forms of the occupational identity. So they can become a farmer, they can become a soldier, they can become a wrestler, but the non-Jats could see through it that primarily it's the vested interest of one community. When Congress becomes their prime anchor, Congress becomes someone who caters to their interest. While you talk big, talk progressive, certainly people are going to choose because people have one vote,
They
and it is a
this
weaker
fear
section.
in them, probably that is what is being talked about. That the other communities.
Let me just briefly add. Indian Institute of Dalit Studies in 2022 conducted a study sanctioned by Haryana Social Justice Ministry, and they found out that of all the atrocities until now committed on Dalits, is the official study, 52% are Jats, 30%, and that's surprising, in Mewat region happens to be Muslims. So when you talk about the Dalit, Muslim and Jat unity, doesn't have a sociological ground resonance.
Okay. Tarun Upadhyay, where does the Congress go from here, sir? Because, I would disagree with Sajjan on this because, all parties do focus on the dominant communities, be it even the BJP focusing on Patidars in Gujarat or the Lingayat communities in Karnataka. So these political compulsions are sometimes really, sort of difficult to challenge and navigate. And the social order is something that even parties forget to accumulate or include as part of their strategy. But Mr. Upadhyay, how do you see the Congress reworking its strategy from here? Because its own allies are sort of attacking the Congress party for being a big brother, but for not really listening to them.
party is acting like a big brother, but not listening to the ground realities and also to its allies. Sanjan was making a point, and you also made a point with regard to the scheduled caste. In Jammu region, that there are 5 seats of the SC community, and the Congress lost all the 5 seats. So this reflects how much resonance the party the rhetoric is getting on the ground. Secondly, you talked about this. The party high command and the leaders who are on the ground, they should act in a tandem. But what I personally got to know that the high command was given a picture that the party is doing absolutely doing wonders in the Jammu region. And look at the hard reality, just got the one vote. So that is the way the party functioning. Party basically, in my opinion, of covering this political scene in the Jammu and Kashmir and also the rest of the countries, the party works in a very bureaucratic manner. The ground realities are not given to the high command, and high command, in my opinion, tends to live in a delusion. So that doesn't work if you have a competitor like Bharatiya
Yesterday,
Janata.
a Congress leader told me that the focus is only on roadshows and rallies and not really on building the organization or rebuilding it in places where it has actually lost momentum. Is that true about the Congress party? Because we hear so much about Mohammed Ki Dukaan, we hear so much about roadshows and these huge rallies and visits of Rahul Gandhi to isolated, deprived communities, which are all like really remarkable. But clearly, the nuts and bolts of politics, the organization, is that where the Congress needs to focus on?
Absolutely. Even the road shows are missing in Jammu and Kashmir. I mean, on the contrary, even the road shows are missing in Jammu and Kashmir. Even they would have done it seriously, the party may have got 1 or 2 seats. So the point you are making is absolutely right. The party doesn't have a coherent policy in how to go about it. Mohabbat ki dukaan, I mean, the Rahul Gandhi's TRP may have gone a bit. I mean, it got reflected in the last parliamentary results, but the ground realities are entirely different. Why the people are not reposing faith in the Congress party? That's a serious thing. I mean, the entire Jammu region, not a single Hindu seat has been won by the Congress, and that can extrapolate in a very serious manner across the rest of the country, and that's a serious thinking the party has to do.
Used to being a minor player and is dependent on its allies, and that is why the allies here are quite vocal. I mean, they're of course quite vocal and hitting out at the Congress party here. All right, I'm being told that Farooq Abdullah is speaking at the moment. Let's dip in.
एक सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज ये है कि महंगाई आसमान पे है। साथ साथ ये भी बताऊं आपको कि बेकारी बदहाली बहुत ज़बरदस्त है। हमारे बच्चे और बच्चियां पढ़ी लिखी बेकार हैं, उनके लिए हमने काम ढूंढना है। जम्मू और कश्मीर में जो इन्होंने डिफरेंसेस पैदा की हैं, उन डिफरेंसेस को हमने कम करना है। हमने कोशिश करनी है कि वहाँ के हिंदू को भी एतमाद हो कि हम उनके लिए भी वैसा ही सोचेंगे जैसा हम अपने कश्मीर के लिए सोच रहे हैं। हम कोई फ़र्क नहीं करेंगे। उन्हें वोट नहीं दिया तो क्या हुआ, मगर हमारा फ़र्ज़ है कि हम उनकी मुश्किलात को दूर करें।
ये 10-10 बार आपने कल कहा कि उमर साहब सीएम बनेंगे, लेकिन उमर साहब कह रहे हैं कि पहले कैबिनेट मीटिंग होगी, उसके बाद डिसाइड होगा। तो क्या कहना चाहिए?
मैंने जो डिसाइड किया वही होगा। चलिए, चलो, अल्लाह। सलाम अलैकुम। शुक्रिया मौलवी साहब, सलाम अलैकुम।
All right, Farooq Abdullah there speaking to the media just a while back, saying that what has been decided is going to happen. Of course, speaking about its ally Congress party also, that they're going to support the Congress party, even though we do understand in Jammu Kashmir that the Congress party has been reduced to a minor force in the alliance, the NC Congress alliance.
1 seat in Jammu and just 6 seats, compared to 12 that they had. So clearly that is a big setback, and clearly they were riding on the power and mobilization aspect of NC. NC has 42 seats out of the 51 that it contested. This is a huge strike rate, and also NC making it very clear that it is the predominant force when it comes to JNK.
Major player in the alliance, of course, yes.
The grand old man of Kashmir politics making it very clear that Umar Abdullah is going to be the chief minister, and what he says will happen. That was, of course, on a lighter note. But back to the state which is making a lot of news because BJP has scored this massive hat-trick there. Of course, Congress faces a setback, it continues to be in the opposition. Now you can see those visuals of Haryana leaders who, are in Delhi. That is Naab Singh Saini, who's the caretaker chief minister. The man who is, in some ways, he had become the face of Haryana BJP in remarkably lesser time than one would anticipate. Just 6 months, ago, he was made the chief minister, replacing Manohar Lal, BJP's chief minister for last almost 9 years. And Mr. Saini comes from the OBC community. OBCs have also voted for the BJP in large numbers.
Large numbers, yes. Absolutely, yes. And the BJP placing its bets on Naab Singh Saini 6 months back. Who would have thought that Naab Singh Saini, when he replaced ML Khattar, he would bring this big victory for the BJP. Of course, there were other forces at play also. Other important BJP leaders have to be given the credit. Yes. But yes, Naab Singh Saini is also to be given credit here for this big decisive victory of the BJP in Haryana. Let's listen in to what the chief minister had said just a while back. We have a reaction coming in from ML Khattar as well.
देखिए इस प्रचंड जीत का जो श्रेय है वो श्रेय आदरणीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी को जाता है, जिन्होंने पिछले 10 वर्षों में ऐसी नीतियां, ऐसी योजनाएं चलाई हैं जिसका लाभ गरीब व्यक्ति को भी मिल रहा है, जिसका लाभ किसान को भी मिल रहा है, जिसका लाभ युवा को भी मिल रहा है। मोदी जी को देश के लोग प्यार करते हैं, मोदी जी को देश के लोग स्नेह करते हैं और उसका परिणाम है भारतीय जनता पार्टी हरियाणा के अंदर तीसरी बार प्रचंड बहुमत से वो आई है।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में जिस प्रकार के काम कर रही है, सारे देश में माहौल अच्छा है, लोगों के मन को भाने वाले इस प्रकार का जो रिजल्ट दिया है। और साइलेंट वोटर जो है इसमें बहुत बड़ी भूमिका निभाई है उसने, क्योंकि वोकल वोटर तो हमेशा मीडिया में इधर उधर जा करके या जाके एजेंसियों को अपनी बात बताया था, साइलेंट वोटर को भी बताता नहीं है।
सर, जिस तरह से सरकार गठन कितने दिनों में प्रोसीजर पूरा हो जाएगा?
अब ये तो पार्लियामेंट्री बोर्ड और हमारे जो प्रदेश के लोग हैं वो मिलकर के तय करेंगे।
सर, मुख्यमंत्री कौन होंगे?
तो वो ही तय करेंगे।
My colleague Aishwarya joins us with more details on this. Aishwarya, tell us what is the plan of Naab Singh Saini going to be today? Because on agenda, of course, is the next government cabinet formation in Haryana, and it is very interesting that Manohar Lal is back in the forefront, and he was never, in some ways behind the curtains, because he was always there. Somebody like Naab Singh Saini, he's seen as his own, a protege. So clearly, he was also taking instructions from Manohar Lal. So this is the BJP not really abandoning any of its leaders. At the same time, now it's a united ship, and the focus now is to ensure that the next cabinet has the new faces and also representatives from all the communities that have actually voted for the party, ensuring its remarkable hat-trick.
Well, certainly Naab Singh Saini, after meeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah at 7 Lok Kalyan Marg before the cabinet meeting, arrived at Haryana Bhavan, and he clearly stated that it was, of course, 10 years of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision and his leadership and the policies that are for all the section of societies led Haryana to the path of development. And 9.5 years of Manohar Lal Khattar's government and 6 months of Naab Singh Saini clearly had taken Haryana to its greater heights, and the promises that had been done to the people in the Sankalp Patra will also be fulfilled under the Prime Minister's leadership and the double engine sarkar that the Haryana will have. From now on, what we have been told is that Naab Singh Saini will be going to Dharmendra Pradhan's residence at around 12 noon, and there is a key meeting that will take place as far as Dharmendra Pradhan is concerned. He is the BJP in charge for the state of Haryana, along with senior leaders who will be also arriving as far as Biplab Dev is concerned and Surendra Pathak is concerned. But on the other side, it is also on the cards as far as JP Nadda's meeting with Naab Singh Saini. It will be of course a congratulatory meeting that will take place at around 3 p.m. is what we have been told, and later because the Bharatiya Janata Party wants that as soon as possible, the government should form the parliamentary board meeting should be conducted, and the observers, according to our sources, by the BJP has been told they will be sent to Chandigarh, where a legislative party meeting will be called, and there the leader will be elected. In all likelihood, it will be Nayaab Singh Saini, but yes, as you rightly mentioned, there would be some old faces, there would be some new faces, and all these sections will be kept in mind before forming the cabinet.
Yes, Aishwarya, thank you so much for getting us all those details there. Key meetings lined up today as well. Well, Nayaab Singh Saini, who is all set to become the next chief minister, as per sources, the information is coming, is also going to meet Dharmendra Pradhan next at 12 noon. That is what we are learning. When the
protocol
meeting
will be
is
followed,
going to take place.
you know, that's what he was saying, that, you know, once the protocol, like, you know, there'll be observers that will be appointed. They will travel to Haryana. They'll speak to all the MLAs who have been elected, and of course, and then the CM will be elected. That, of course, is the process. But we all know that, of course, the CM is always one that the leadership wants. And of course, here it looks like Nayaab Singh Saini is likely to continue as the Chief Minister of Haryana.
Absolutely. Let's now talk about Jammu Kashmir as well. The Congress National Conference Alliance is all set to form the next government in Jammu Kashmir. The alliance had secured 49 seats out of 90, winning the assembly elections. Well, Omar Abdullah is also all set to become the Jammu Kashmir Chief Minister, as was announced by Farooq Abdullah. Here is what Omar Abdullah told NDTV in one of his first few interviews. And also he spoke to the media today as well. Listen into that as well.
यहाँ हुकूमत बनते ही मैं तो ये उम्मीद करूँगा कि कैबिनेट का पहला फैसला ये होगा कि वो एक रेजोल्यूशन कैबिनेट की तरफ से पास करें कि मरकज़ को अब जम्मू कश्मीर में रियासत का दर्जा देना चाहिए। ऐसी बात नहीं है कि हम बीजेपी की सियासत को कबूल करेंगे या बीजेपी हमारी सियासत कबूल करेगी। बीजेपी के साथ तो हमारा टकराव रहेगा, लेकिन मरकज़ के साथ टक्कर करना ये हमारी कोई मजबूरी नहीं है। मरकज़ के साथ ठीक ठाक ताल्लुकात बने, मुझे लगता है ये जम्मू कश्मीर के लिए और जम्मू कश्मीर के लोगों के लिए फ़ायदेमंद होगा। जम्मू कश्मीर के वोटरों ने झगड़े के लिए वोट नहीं दिए। जम्मू कश्मीर के वोटरों ने वोट का इस्तेमाल किया क्योंकि वो रोज़गार चाहते हैं, नौकरियां चाहते हैं, तरक्की चाहते हैं, वो रियासत का दर्जा चाहते हैं, वो बिजली में एक राहत चाहते हैं, अन्य उनके जो मुश्किलात हैं वो उन मुश्किलातों का हल चाहते हैं, और वो मुश्किलातों का हल नई दिल्ली के साथ झगड़ा करके नहीं होगा।
Nazir, my colleague, joins us from Srinagar. Big takeaways from what Omar Abdullah is saying today, Nazir, but the manifesto of the National Conference was also massive with many promises there. So clearly, while Omar Abdullah is saying that he will work with the centre and there's no reason for him to be antagonistic towards the centre, there is, of course, a little challenge that he will face in implementing his own party's policies.
Yeah, exactly. It is one thing when you say when you are in opposition, and it's completely different thing when you have actually run a government. And that too in a place like Jammu and Kashmir, which has multiple challenges, which has a complex problems and a complex history also. So in that sense that no J&K government can afford to have a confrontation with the central government, and central government would be thinking that would be the last thing for the central government to have confrontation with the Jammu and Kashmir government, because it is a complex, as I said, complex issue. It has serious, security, repercussions, and also international repercussions as well. So every government, now Omar Abdullah, when I spoke to him yesterday, he said, look, elections are done and dusted. Now let's talk politics after 4.5 years when next election will be around us. Till then, we can jointly try to resolve the issue of people, resolve unemployment, make Jammu and Kashmir a peaceful and a progressive place. That is what he said. So clearly he wants that, he said, Prime Minister is an honorable man and he will fulfill his commitment, which is the restoration of J&K's statehood. He's also talked about, he can travel to Delhi and meet Prime Minister once the government is formed. And he also has, we heard him talking about the cabinet, first cabinet, passing the resolution about restoration of J&K statehood. That remains perhaps the, central to during elections and demand of every political party, including BJP, has been saying, look, statehood was taken away. Now it will be restored. And BJP has never said it will not be restored. It's only the question of when. So that's the thing. And many believe that in the next parliament section, a bill should be introduced in the parliament. And we know even Rahul Gandhi during his repeated, having repeated statements on restoration of statehood. That appears to become then take the central stage once the government is formed. But the real challenge of running the government, giving people sense of belonging, particularly when National Conference has got a resounding mandate, but its real challenge would also come from the Jammu because it doesn't have many, MLAs from Jammu, and because Jammu has most of the seats have been won by
Absolutely.
BJP
So
in
maintaining
Jammu.
that coordination with the BJP, of course, is important here, and of course, working with its alliance partner, the Congress Party here in Jammu Kashmir. Thank you so much, Nazir, for getting us all those details there. We'll get back to you later for more. Meanwhile, it's time for a short break. Yeah, we'll be right back.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always bustling. It's literally a city that never sleeps.
And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
NDTV World Summit 2024, October 21st and 22nd, only on NDTV Network.
कि जिसकी सरकार सेंटर में हुई है उसी की सरकार प्रदेश में होती है।
एंटी इनकम्बेंसी को कैसे देख रहे हैं? इनकम्बेंसी नहीं है,
Pro incumbency.
कांग्रेस आ रही है, भाजपा जा रही है।
Congress is going to form the government in Haryana with a big majority.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead. From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of power, Delhi,
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show. Breakfast news on NDTV, 8 a.m. every day.
Welcome back after the break. We have a breaking news now coming in. Rahul Gandhi has reacted on the Haryana and Jammu Kashmir poll results. Rahul Gandhi in his tweet has said that the party is going to challenge the poll verdict. Rahul Gandhi has also in this tweet said that we are going to go to the EC over the Haryana result. My heartfelt thanks to the people of Jammu Kashmir. India's victory in this state is a victory of the constitution, a victory of democratic self-respect. He said we are analyzing the unexpected results of Haryana. We will inform the election commission about the complaints coming in from many assembly constituencies. Well, and Rahul Gandhi has gone on to say in this tweet that we will continue this fight for rights, for social and economic justice, for truth, and we will keep raising your voice. Well, remember in that press conference also that was held yesterday, the Congress party had raised questions over the Haryana poll results, saying that the Election Commission website wasn't really working properly. It was working very slow and the results were being updated very slow. They also went on to blame the EVMs. And now the Congress party with Rahul Gandhi, the leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, also now putting out this tweet saying that the Congress party is going to inform the Election Commission about the complaints that have come in from various assembly constituencies in Haryana. Shifting our focus now to some more news that we're tracking amid the Israel-Hezbollah conflict. Nasrallah's successors have been killed, as has been informed by Israel. The UN chief also reacted, saying that Lebanon is on the verge of all-out war. We have reactions coming in. Also, my colleague Ghazali continues to report from the war zone. Let's take a look.
You have an opportunity that hasn't existed in decades. An opportunity